Well, we're about half an hour away from Friday night football between the Stampeders and Tiger Cats. Hamilton has won 5 of its last 6 games, while Calgary is looking for its first win since August 4th. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. For a full preview, let's go to Laura Dyken.
And we've got Milt Stegall, Davis Sanchez, as well as Enoch Mwamba. Look, I know for both the Stamps and the Ticats, disappointing that they aren't in the playoffs. But from an individual standpoint, Bo Levi Mitchell this season has shown that he has still got it.
Yes.
And, you know, he's never finished the season as the CFL's leading passer, but on point to do that right now this season. One word, Enoch, to describe what you've seen from Bo Levi Mitchell this year.
I'm going to go with roller coaster.
Hyphenated.
Does that count?
Yeah,
one word. All right, roller coaster, because of the way that it started. I mean, we all questioned. He came in with an injury at the beginning of the season. What is happening? You know, at the beginning of the roller coaster is ticking. But
you know what's coming.
Pick up and
you know what's coming.
And he was leading the league in passing pretty much all season. And he was looking really, really good until we started to see the problems that really was happening out there in Hamilton in the locker room where, you know, Scott Milanovic said, that's enough, and pulled him off. And now he found himself on the bench and came back on afterwards, though, and became the starter again. And now we're thinking, hey, I don't think it's time for Bo to retire yet. And so, to me, it was a roller coaster type of season for Bo Levi Mitchell. Right now, the way that he played this year, we remember that this is the Hall of Famer, the future Hall of Famer, Bo Levi Mitchell.
Absolutely. You saw in his performance this year, and you're right, it was up and down. You saw flashes of greatness. You saw some games where he didn't play very well. But can any of you guys up here tell me that there's 9 better quarterbacks in this league than Bo Levi Mitchell?
No.
The word I have is starter. There's no question now after what he did this year. There were some doubts that last year whether he would come back and be that guy, but he's proven to me that he will be. Whether he's in Hamilton or he's somewhere else, he's a starter in this league, and he proved it this year with his play. There's no question that one of these teams will have that guy under center for them to start next year.
Define my word, the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Resilient. That's the word I'm going with, resilient. You guys spoke of it. Remember when Bo threw that interception and Scott Milanovic said, that's it. I'm sitting you down, get out of here. I'm putting in my future starting quarterback. Where that future starting quarterback got hurt, Bo came back in, didn't complain, and what did he do? I mean, he was on his way to being MOP, and that takes a lot. Mentally, when you've been in Bo's position, you've been the guy in this league for years. You were the man in Calgary. You led your team to multiple Grey Cups, multiple MOPs, and all of a sudden you sat down, but he didn't miss a beat. He came back, and he kept it going, so that's the word I'm going with, resilient.
Couple incentives for Bo Levi Mitchell as the season winds down. Approaching 5,000 yards. He needs just over 400. Not sure if he'll do that tonight, but he's hoping that tonight is the night he finally gets his first win over his former team. And those Stamps, 0 for 7 on the road. They're hoping tonight's the night as well.
Thanks, LD. Well, FanDuel has the Tiger Cats as a 4.5-point favorite against the Stampeders tonight. The Ticats are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. But keep in mind that Calgary has won 8 of the last 11 meetings on the road in Hamilton. The total for this matchup is set at 51.5, which is the highest CFL total in Week 20. Kickoff is set for 7 Eastern right here on TSN.
Tonight, the CFL's leading passer will get another crack at those Stampeders. The Ticats' Bo Levi Mitchell spent a decade in Calgary, but has never beat his former team before. While on the other side, another quarterback will be taking on his old club. Matthew Schiltz is back in Hamilton, and he gets the nod again tonight as the Stamps look to pick up their first win since Week 9. That is almost 11 weeks ago. And with that, we say hello, welcome to Friday Night football. It is week 27 games to go in the regular season. That's it. I'm your host, Laura Dyke, and we've got Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Smiling Milt Stiegel. We've got Paul LaPolice here as well. A packed house as, yes, this week is kicking off with the Stamps and the Ticats. And, yeah, I know, disappointment. First time since 2003, both of these teams not in the playoff field. But don't tell them that they don't have anything to play for tonight, Milt.
No, without a doubt. Every time you step on the field as a professional athlete, it means a lot. Not too many people get that opportunity, and for these two teams, they need to realize that this is the last couple of games that these guys will be together as a group. And let's be honest, some of these guys, this will be the last time they ever get to step on the field as a professional athlete. So they got to cherish these moments, go out there and give it all you have.
Yeah, agreed. For some of these guys who are, you know, maybe fighting for a roster spot, it matters. For Bo, I think it matters. He wants that 5,000 yards. He said it. He said he wants 5,000 yards. He said something that they look back on, it will matter.
And not just that. Like, every time you step on Milt, you alluded to it. It is your resume as a football player. But more than that, too, I think there's some coaches here that also have some stuff that they want to prove. You got Chris Jones, who a lot of us thought, wait, what's going on with you in Edmonton? But he is a new home, and he's got a new team. And if anybody knows Chris Jones, this is not the Chris Jones type of defense that he usually has. And I'm sure he's going to get busy this offseason. He wants to know, who am I going to keep in the roster this offseason?
Stamps definitely want this one. 0 for 7 on the road this season and riding that 8-game winless streak. As for the Ticats, another late season surge, going for their 5th win in the last 6 games. Final home game of the season for them, so it's fan appreciation night in the Hammer. Will officially kick off week 20 right after this.
They ain't got the hearts, they just full of frauds. Born from the darkness, move with the heartless. Accuracy and sharpness, we gon' win regardless. Welcome to the field, we've been very thrilled. This is where it's real, this is when you feel. If you pray a predator, who becomes a meal?
Friday night football night.
Welcome to the Hammer, where the sun has set on the Tiger Cats and Stampeders playoff dreams, but both have goals of a brighter 2025. They believe that starts right here tonight in week number 20 at Tim Hortons Field. Marshall Ferguson alongside Matt Dunnigan, and of course Matthew Chinetti at field level for us here throughout the evening. It's the revenge game. Matthew Schultz is back in the building as the starting quarterback of the Calgary Stampeders against Bo Levi Mitchell.
A lot of ways we can spin this ball game, but both these teams have struggled this year. And you got Matthew Schultz coming back, playing his old team, and he's very motivated. 6-6 over the course of his career. 0-1 this year, and he's a player that can do it both with his arms and his legs. So watch out for that. Bo Levi Mitchell, not so much his legs, but boy, he needs no introduction. This guy's a 2-time MOP. He can sling it all over the yard. He's had a tremendous year, just 424 yards shy of 5,000. And I know he's going to go after that tonight.
Scott Milanovic here with the Hamilton Tiger Cats says he's disappointed. He thought they'd have at least another week to try and run the table and make the playoffs, but that ship has now sailed. And for Dave Dickinson, I asked him this week, what would it turn this thing around, have, you know, a 14-15 win season? He said, I'll let you know when it happens. Confidence there from Dave Dickinson. He believes he is back, and he wants the opportunity to lead this football team as we get set to kick off the penultimate week of CFL regular season football. Thanks for being with us as Hamilton sends it down to the 10-yard line. He returns by committee for the Stampeders tonight. And that one sets them up with decent field position as Rice and John chipping in. Matthew Schultz, the starter for the Stamps.
Yeah, I mean, a real likable guy, very cerebral. You know, he wants to be a coach, you know, when his career is all said and done, and you speak to him, and it just emulates coach. And oozes it in every aspect of the game. He teaches it in the offseason down in Dallas, and see if he can play a little bit of it here tonight.
A couple of years spent with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 193 passing attempts. He'll begin by handing it off right between the tackles. They bash away to kick things off. Dedrick Mills going to work early on as we take a look at the Calgary Stampeders attack.
Well, they just ran right up the middle. Why not? You got Sean McEwen there, just an outstanding center that doesn't make a mistake out on the football field. Got all the confidence in the world from the players around him. Reggie Bagleton, this guy needs no introduction. He's been getting it done from University of Lamar for a long time. He's had a tremendous season. Just special to watch. He's the favorite target of any quarterback behind the Stamp Center.
Second and 1 yard to go, and Tommy Stevens will go ahead and get himself about 7 on that play and leans forward to the right-hand side as we see the Tiger Cats defense.
Yeah, a little coming down low a little bit. Glad he did. Barlow's playing really well. Brandon from Toronto, and in the middle, this kid, 5th-round draft choice, 43rd overall this past season, and now he's starting middle linebacker for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You gotta love that. Back end, Leonard, halfback that absolutely is the leader of that secondary. Been here the longest.
First downs on this drive so far. They've gone to the ground attack both times. As Dietrich Mills continues to get a look. We expect to see lots of Kylan Hill here this evening as the young running back making his way up from Mississippi State. We'll see whether or not they give him a couple of early touches to mix and match.
Yeah, I believe he's in that huddle as we speak right there. Already rotating him in. Why not? This is an opportunity to look at everybody. Like preseason, get them in, see what they're doing under the lights and how they react to full speed competition.
Schultz looks left, comes back to the right-hand side and knifing in between the coverage that time. Catch is made by Jalen Philpott, making the grab, having a couple of smiles as he's enjoying an opportunity here to play in week number 20.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple play. You know, looking at the young receiver who's, I think learned a lot this year. How to handle himself out there, how to produce. He's been relied upon a bunch, and that's the easy pitch and catch there. Just go to the sticks, and Schultz put it on him. And Keandre Smith having a whale of a season.
Old receiver to the bottom is Cam Eccles back in the lineup. They do give it to Kylan Hill, though, in the running game, and picks up a couple of yards until he runs into Nick Usher. And the mad scientist Chris Jones, the defensive assistant, has played Nick Usher off the ball here early on, mixing and matching and trying to get him a couple of different looks for Schultz to deal with, and Usher running free that time.
Yeah, just a different looking defense since Jonesy's taken over. Just spatial awareness, just understanding down and distance, just really in layman's terms, they need a few pieces of the puzzle out there, and Jones is doing what he can with what he has, and this offseason should be proved big for the Ticats defense.
Usher stand up end here. He gets another at least half tackle as they hand it off, and it'll be a decision time early on. Expect Dave Dickinson to be extremely aggressive throughout this ball game, knowing that he is indeed not into the playoffs, waving them back onto the field here, and actually sends in Ryan Leader, a McMaster grad, 5th round pick in 2023.
Did not take you long to get that in.
Back here in Hamilton, he moved from defensive line over to fullback out of necessity, and he's in the ball game here.
Why not? Paved the way. Big boy. Talked to his old man coming up to the booth earlier today.
Schultz stays in the game, and they will go quarterback run, but not with Tommy Stevens, and it looks like Schultz got just enough, had to get to the 33-yard line.
He paid every bit about that one. Just a jab step to his left there, boom, foul coming around. There's Leader getting his block, he's kind of getting in the way of Wilson. trying to help you out there, Ryan. That didn't need much of a block because you already had some help out there with Zach Williams.
Well, Leader tried to lead up through the hole, but Schultz got it all on his own. First down, Stampeders out to the flats this time, making the grab, putting his shoulder down. Dietrich Mills stays on his feet. And he's pushed out of bounds just beyond the 25.
Seeing the size of that guy's legs? I mean, I don't know why you'd want to go down there. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to go down there, because that's a whole lot of pain. Out in the flat, oftentimes smaller corners go up and try to hit low. There's a good look at it. Moxie trying to get in there. Bill says, are you kidding me? Have you seen these bad boys?
Kyle Wilson doing everything he can to get involved in the action. That time, the former Stamp, Jonathan Moxie. Trying to bring down Dedrick Mills, who's got plenty of action on this opening drive. As it crosses beyond 5 minutes, time of possession already. And this one, it gets jumped, and it looks like it's Moxie back onto his feet. So after getting run through by Dedrick Mills, he says, I'll go ahead and get my second interception of the season.
He's in the playbook, Marshall. Read it perfectly. Throw a hit screen over here. It's going the other way. It's a way to get it done, Jonathan Moxie. Yeah, we got Jonathan Moxie right here. Watch him breaking his football. No hesitation, like he knows it's coming. He's over the top of Cam Eccles, and he says, no, not on my watch. 5 years experience, that's what gets you right there. Playing a whole lot of Sam linebacker for Ticats this year. Now he's bumped to the weak side corner, made a big play right there.
He's a career high with 2 interceptions. His previous high of 2 back in 2021 with the Calgary Stampeders. Bo Levi Mitchell begins his first possession of the ball game, gets it in his hands very quickly. Tyler Chernowski makes the grab as he's only had now 6 catches on the season, but Bo Levi Mitchell has been spreading it around everywhere this year.
Yeah, he has. It's like you turn back the clock, and the marriage between Scott Milanovich and Mitchell is really starting to pay off. Not so much in the W's, but certainly in the communication and helping. That quarterback has been doing it a long time now, 12 years, and he's really had to change his game a bit in his line of thinking. He's a top-down quarterback, meaning deep to shallow, and he's had to work shallow to deep in Scott Milanovich's offense. And done a nice job of kind of reinventing his game.
You're going to look at the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense. Anthony Trey ends up picking up the first down.
Yeah, Brendan Revenberg, veteran up there, 123 games on that offensive line. He calls everything out, loves to have David Beard right next to him. A couple young guys out in the corner. He's got to handle that offensive line. Greg Bell, different kind of a back, slasher. Happy to have him back in the lineup again. And what? Tim White, kind of up and down season. Is as good as anybody in the league. When he's hot, this year has been kind of on and off, and we're hoping he's on tonight.
Put Javoni Robinson outside, go to the wide side of the field, caught, running through space, and it is Patton that makes the grab that time, is flying in from that wide side wide receiver spot. Just 7 catches on the season for Patton, so getting looks at Chernowski and Patton early on.
Yeah, he sits down there, clear him out, sit down. Everybody's flashing in front of you over the top. I'm going to sit right here in zone coverage and pick up an easy first down. Bo Levi says, are you kidding me? He's a big target, 6'4". Find him when he's covered, let alone wide open.
Give it to Greg Bell. Inside run, left-hand side, picks up about 5 yards, and the Calgary defense gets a stop. Here's what that Stampeders unit looks like.
Yeah, this is a unit that has had some problems this year, particularly stopping the run, but Mike Rose, he can get to the quarterback. The best of them got 6 sacks in the year. Eddie Devine Scott, Sam linebacker, draws in from Springfield, Massachusetts, Western New England University. I love that. Kid is playing and starting Sam linebacker. Ben LaBrosse, man, just athlete. He's off the charts and everything you can measure, and it shows on the football field. Watch that kid play some ball tonight.
4 receivers in the short side here for Bo Levi Mitchell. The pocket collapses. He gets it out of his hand, completes another, and spinning away from 3 tacklers that time. It is Keandre Smith, the Guelph Griffin, his 3rd year with the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, I really like the way that Keandre Smith plays football, and he plays excited, and he loves being out there. And Bo Levi Mitchell's just like Skelly right now, got all kinds of time, no pressure in his face, finding receivers left, right, and center, just picking the Calgary secondary apart right now.
Spread things out here with Greg Bell starting as a slot back, so it's empty. 3-by-3 for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Quarterback draw for Scamper in the end zone.
Bo looks to his right-hand side, gets it to Bell in the flats, trying to break a tackle, and he barely does, but holding on just long enough to wait for the help to come was Benjamin LaBrosse.
Yeah, and he was hanging out for dear life because that guy gets away, and he's in the end zone in a heartbeat. A decent open field tackle there. However he can get it done, he got it done for a short pickup. Bo got the ball out there and hurried, gave his back an opportunity to do something with it. That guy right there, Scott Milanovich, loves him some Greg Bell. Happy to have him back in the lineup.
Levi Mitchell with pressure on, looks to his right, complete, flag comes up at the end of the play. And it looks as though
it's back there where the quarterback got a little late hit. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Micah Awe was right there.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Calgary number 7. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
Tom Valesi, our referee tonight, makes the call. Micah Awe trying to plead his case, but maybe saying that Bo Levi Mitchell crouched down after he got rid of the football here, Matty?
Yeah, Micah's right here and pretty much unabated. Ball's out, wraps him up, gives the veteran quarterback a pretty good. Bo's like calling it for him already. Yeah, you can't do that.
You.
I mean, that would have been a little love tap back in the day, but in today's game, you just can't do that.
As they stand over the football here for a moment, Dave Dickinson looking on for clarification. They reset the play clock to 20 and whistle it in. Down here in the score zone, Bo Levi Mitchell, 13 touchdowns, just 1 interception on the season. Tight. Looks to the left-hand side, open receiver, walking in, Tim White, touchdown, Tiger Cat.
Like Skelly.
Easy one. Say what you want to say.
What do you mean? How about do what you got to do? Tim's just going to, he's coming from a deep waggle, kind of comes out and he's kind of lost in space. Nobody, no DeMario Houston, nobody takes number 12. And I say that's a bad choice because he finds the end zone walking. It's like Skelly right there.
It did look easy for Bo Levi Mitchell. Can't fault Brent Monson, defensive coordinator for the Stampeders, trying to send some pressure there as he stacked Cam Judge alongside Micah Awe. They couldn't get home, and so Bo gets it out of his hands, and it's easy
money. How do you
money.
forget 12?
Yeah.
How do you forget that guy? He's got 6 in the year now. One of the most explosive receivers, just went over 1,000 yards.
Bartlecchio up and good. Tim White needed just 2 yards to go over 1,000 for the 3rd straight season. Well, this will do it. Touchdown Hamilton to kick things off in their final home game of the season. Hamilton with the early advantage, 8 plays, 79 yards. Bo Levi Mitchell, 6 of 6 for 66 yards on that drive. The 6th catch of the season there for Tyler Chernowski, the 7th of the year for Patman, and all of a sudden, Hamilton keeps chipping away, Matty, piece after piece.
Yeah, I mean, this is good film to get on record so you can break it down and continue to learn and get better as a unit. And spread the ball around. Bo Levi Mitchell 3 times this year, or over the course of his career, he's gone over 400 yards. He needs 424 tonight to break 5K. That was a pretty good start. 5
different receivers on that drive for his 6th completion. So Bo giving a little bit of love to everybody to get things going. Is now big return from the other direction. Tyson Middlemost as the flag is down, and we'll sort it out when we come back. Matthew Shinetti joins us when we return. Hamilton leading 7-0 over the Calgary Stampeders.
During the return, illegal block.
Well, tremendous relationship between Dave Dickinson and Bo Levi Mitchell through the years. They won a couple of Grey Cups. One with Dave as an offensive coordinator. The other, of course, is the head coach in 2018. With more, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Yeah, you wonder, after seasons like this for the Ticats and Bo Levi Mitchell and Dave Dickinson, the Calgary Stampeders, if one of the greatest coach-quarterback combinations of all time is starting to think about that past that they had together, maybe a little more fondly. And I don't think it's going to surprise anybody, Marshall, that they both told me no. But curiously, when I was talking to Bo Levi Mitchell, if everything that he's dealt with this season, being benched, coming back, and now approaching close to 5,000 yards passing, if he's remembering his time a little fonder, and he kept looking back towards the Stampeders and said, you know what, as time goes on, I will look more and more back on it with a lot more favor and fondness. But when I asked Dave Dickinson, and we talked to him, Matty, this week, he said, listen, all I'm focused on is trying to figure out how to win this week and win next week and then next season. But he said, when I look back on it, like Bo Levi Mitchell said, I'll remember it quite fondly.
I don't think they're going to be giving each other roses until Dave knows that Bo's done. He's going to wait until the Hall of Famer is wrapped up the career, called it, and then I think we'll hear all the wonderful things.
Both of them just extremely competitive, almost to a fault, and there's the friction when they're competing against one another.
Pressure on Schiltz here in behind the intended receiver. Reggie Begelton couldn't haul it in, just in behind, so it will be a 2-and-out. Calgary will have to kick it away.
You had Reggie in motion, and he's coming left to right in your screen. Reggie's going to come right down here. He's going to go a little wheel route, and it's in the hole. So what happens is a little pressure, ball's thrown, and he's trying to anticipate it and talking to Matthew before the game. He just needs more reps in this offense and with his teammates. And Shield.
Oh, this one shanked off the side of the foot of Cody Grace. You don't see that very often. That is one of the worst punts you will ever see from Cody Grace. Out of bounds. The penalty flag comes out as well. Wow, walked all the way up to the Calgary Stampeders 41-yard line.
Number 24.
So Grace will have to shake that one off. Hamilton ball with amazing field position when we return. We'll go back to Hamilton. There you see some of the true glory years in Hamilton Tiger Cats lore, of course, and Garnie Henley's 4 Grey Cups, as tonight he gets honored, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats have officially announced that he is indeed going to end up having his number 26 retired. The incredible two-way player that meant so much to so many people for so many years and still very much a part of Tiger Cats culture.
Yeah, back in the day, you really didn't have a choice but to be a two-way player, and to do it in the flair and with the production that Garnie Henley did as a player was unbelievable. These numbers are just off the chart. That 59 one right there is crazy. Receiving yards, some guys would love to have that for a career. He was doing both ways. Return yards, that's just well-deserved. Only 3rd number ever.
Yeah. And given, of course, the Hamilton fans something to cheer about going into 2025, the first game, the home opener for the Tiger Cats, it will be the jersey retirement of Garnie Henley. And speaking of receiving touchdowns in honor of 26, there goes 19-12. Hamilton on the board right away.
Somebody might want to start covering number 12, because this is going to be a field day, and Bo's going to get to 5K before the half. Yeah, just uncovered, untouched, run up the middle of the field, a little post route across the free safety's face, and I'll put it on him. Bo says, yeah. Cameron Judge tries to get there, and he didn't have a chance, and Bo just feathered one into number 12, and that's second here in the first quarter, making it look real easy. Skelly continues here at Tim Hortons.
Tim White, back-to-back touchdowns. The first drive was 4 minutes, 14 seconds. This one, 13 seconds. They wound the clock, and before you knew it, Hamilton's back in the end zone as Mark Leggio kicks it through the uprights at the scoreboard where they just announced Garnie Henley having his number retired.
Hey, Tim, I'll show you what you did right here, your work right here. Just get her done. Go ahead, big man. Let her rip. Yes, sir. Ed's going to run a little post pattern, untouched. Little 35-yard jump right there. My goodness. I mean, that's like at the state fair, throwing balls at the milk cars.
I could never do that.
It's like Bo's just like, ding, ding. I'll take the big dog on the left.
Bo Levi Mitchell, ball popping out of his hand here tonight, the same way it did on Labor Day against the Toronto Argonauts in one of his best performances of the season. Stripes loves it. Stripes is in the mood for points tonight.
X-Factor fully turned on.
X-Factor's fully turned on. They are smoking right now. Calgary better wake up.
Feel a little bit of resentment maybe for the way the season started, with Hamilton losing a game to Calgary that they felt they probably should have won. And Bo Levi Mitchell hot out of the starting gates here today. Scott Milanovich great at dialing up plays. Got to think that maybe after the Garnie Henley announcement that he decided, you know what, what's my best play from the 41-yard line after Cody Grace just shanked a punt? Sudden change? You know what? Let's go with this one to Tim and get him another touchdown.
I love that mentality. 6 touchdowns coming in. He's got 8 already. 2 here in the first quarter. And went over 1,000 yards for the 3rd time in his career. And when he's on, he's as good as anybody in the Canadian Football League. Those consistencies. You know, you talked about the first time these 2 teams met. Hey, it didn't go Hamilton's way, but at the end of the day, there's only one thing you can do about it. Just make it happen right now, and they're doing it.
Last season, just the 4th Tiger Cat to lead the league in receiving yards as Schultz goes back to work. This one almost intercepted. Flying back underneath it, Ray Wildborn makes the tackle on Reggie Beggleton, who continues his consecutive catch streak.
Yeah, I believe that's Baker right here who almost gets underneath that. And watch him feather out here. Oh, no, that's Casantonis dropping down. as Castantona's dropping down from free safety, little inverted coverage there, and he read it. It's like he was right on top of it. The only thing he didn't do is catch it as the ball whizzed by him.
Bagleton making sure they're lined up properly here on 2nd down and 4. And there's whistles. And it looks like Dave Dickinson
Timeout.
one at a time. Yep.
Calgary. Wow, first quarter, timeout. You're down 14-0. It's not a good look. You know, those are so important, those timeouts. And evidently down 14-0 on 2nd and 4. You had to call one.
Yeah, it's been difficult on the road this season for the Calgary Stampeders. They've been 0-7. They've never had a season where they've been winless on the road, and that's on the line here tonight.
1946 it dates back to. And it's not looking good the way this is starting to get to change that.
This game on a 3-game losing streak, sitting at 4-11 on the season. There's now a little inside run to the right-hand side, and after calling the timeout, they come out and hand it off right into the pile. Hamilton's defense all over that one. They stopped them short. And will they go on 3rd down from their own end? No, Mark Killiman, the special teams unit, comes out with Cody Grace trying to atone for his previous shank.
Well, that won't be hard, but well, that's tough, man. Call timeout, call a run, get stopped and stymied for a 2-yard gain. Now you have to punt. Really lost a lot of momentum after the last 2 drives here, trying to dig out of a hole already.
See what Cody Grace can do. Trying to flip field position here and give Hamilton some actual work to do, unlike that 13-second touchdown drive to Tim White they had just moments ago. Give the football back. Lawrence goes to 3rd, hauls it in around the 30-yard line, plunges his way forward for a return of a couple of yards. Bo Levi Mitchell back to work after the hot start, as we see, looking to lead the CFL in single-season passing yardage. Man, that is unbelievable to think he hasn't done that in his career.
Right, and what he has done is win, and that's what's so odd about seeing him in Hamilton Tiger Cat is 8-13, but he's chasing Tracy Ham, Hall of Famer. He could get there tonight.
Bo hands it off. Juke in the hole. Greg Bell trying to get outside. Being brought there by Kobe Williams making the play. But Bo, 26 touchdown passes, leads the league as well. Can make it 3rd time that he's led the CFL in touchdown passes, 2016, 2018. He also did that.
Yeah, he certainly has the mentality. We know he's got the arm, the want to, the ability. It's just familiarity with this offense and the system. And,
that catch hauled in by Steven Dunbar. Judge
like,
flew out from his linebacker spot. Tight window. But Bo Levi Mitchell completes it. Almost threw an interception. He's got 16 on the year. That's a career high as well this season.
It's like Castantona's for the last series for Hamilton, stepping underneath one, and Kim Judge like, is this really happening? And he kind of disbelief there and hesitated, and ball was right in front of him.
Previous career high in interceptions for Bo was 14 back in 2018 when they won the Grey Cup in Calgary, and now they'll just throw this one away out to the sideline. And goes looking for who was supposed to be there. A little miscommunication and a first incompletion for ELM.
Yeah, and if you're going to throw an incompletion, that's a good one because nobody was there. Just no chance of it going the other way.
Well, it is spooky season. You never know. Casper might have ran the corner.
Well, Bo just didn't want to get touched, and he knew it was a botched play from the beginning. So just chunk it out of bounds, let him play another one.
See what he can do on 2nd and 10. Haven't seen many of these early on. Hamilton's passing game's been dominating over the middle. Keandre Smith. The hole shot is good, and Smith shakes it off and pops onto his feet. As no, they're actually going to wave this down. Smith gets a look at it.
Yeah, Bo, right here, and watch this route, just a dig. But what's special about it's not the route. He gets past the linebacker's depth. Their ball's in the air already, anticipating it right in front of 2 defenders deep and the one underneath. Well, that's pretty Bo Levi Mitchell. He's feeling it, as we can see here in the first quarter. It's going to be a special night.
Smith knew he was going to pay the price with Bentley Sanders coming over. He tried to spin away from it. Looks like he might have got
Bad
an
idea.
elbow to the hip on that one, so he needs a moment to collect himself. But Bo Levi Mitchell,
Beautiful throw.
yeah.
I mean, Marshall, you've been there. You did it, McMaster. I've been there. And when you make that type of throw, and some throws that he's made already here in the first quarter, is telling that you're locked in, confident. Look at that time, too. Nobody's breathing on him. Maybe a little pressure on his left hand. He was so poised in the pocket, he actually took his left hand, put it on his left tackle, was blocking right there, and as he was throwing the football, you're like,
Wanted to watch his work.
yeah, yeah, I feel you, Bo. It's a great feeling when you're doing that. Look at his offensive lineman next to him. It's beautiful. He's just like, yeah, we're rolling tonight, baby. That's such a great feeling.
Good to see Keandre Smith walking to the sideline here under his own power, so hopefully he'll be back in the ball game. But Brendan O'Leary-Orange, another talented Canadian receiver in the lineup. We'll see what they can do with him over the next couple of snaps. James Tuck, the fullback, and Giovanni Robinson, fellow fullback tight end, check into the ball game here with 3 receivers to the top of your screen for Bo. Flop Dunbar down to the bottom and hand it off. Greg Bell, well, why not? The running game, trying to play catch-up on the passing attack from the black and gold early on.
Yeah, you've got an overloaded offensive line. They run that way because they got numbers.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 9 of 10 in that first quarter. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, both of them to Tim White. On the night they announced Garney Henley, former Grey Cup greatness, being honored with his number retired. Bo trying to bring it back here in week 20.
Get ready for an action-packed doubleheader with 2 epic matchups. Touchdown! Saturday, Red Blacks, Argos at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on CTV. Then, Alouettes, Lions at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN.
The numbers after 1 quarter of play, 14-zip for Bo Levi Mitchell against his old club, as he's got himself 130 passing yards, and trying to figure out exactly when this Calgary roster is going to wake up and get back into the ballgame. Now, a lot of pressure on this group right now.
Yeah, well, 45 minutes. This season's been unexpected disappointment for the Stampeders. Those stats right there, time of possession, in their favor, but everything else, Bo Levi Mitchell. I said it once, I said it twice, I'll say it a third time. It's like pass scale out there. That's when you're in practice. You only got 7 defenders, nobody's rushing you. And as a quarterback, you're just picking them apart, one completion after another. That's exactly what Scott Mlanovich, Bo Levi Mitchell's doing.
I think a lot of people here in Hamilton have wondered, okay, Bo Levi Mitchell's playing in week 20. They're out of the playoffs. Why is he? Scott Mlanovich wants to continue to try and build momentum roster-wide going into 2025. He felt like it was the right thing to do to play Bo, and certainly looks that way early on. As Mitchell looks over the top, Giovanni Robinson! Touchdown for the big man from Jamaica!
Okay, our stat man, Johnny Proberg, said Bo's on pace for 520 and 8 touchdowns. That may be more. That happened fast here in the second quarter. First play. Bingo. This is a simple little point fake and roll out in the corner. There's the point fake, roll out. Bowder's nowhere near him. Nobody's covering 49. That's Trey Roberson in hot pursuit. Not close enough. Again, Skelly in full display.
And this kick from Leggio will go wide. After the touchdown, Anti-Litre trying to get there. Bentley Sanders returns it from the end zone. Looks like might have got a hand up high. Evan Johnson, the special teams tackle, but Giovanni Robinson into the end zone making plays. Sparsely used this season, but they are really enamored with his 6'8", 225-pound frame and what they could do with it moving forward.
Yeah, and just watch it right here. As he releases, you're gonna watch the little rub route maybe as Rose comes down for the back in the flat. Ricochets Roberson out of the way. Easy touchdown for 4-9. That's a big target. Hard to miss. He was wide open. Little corner route. Just squeeze it. Don't catch it 2 times. Catch it the first time, big man.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. John Huffnagel is feeling like most Calgary Stampeder fans right now. Frustrated, disgusted, and certainly a bit shocked.
7th overall pick in the 2023 CFL Global Draft, Giovanni Robinson. It's an opportunity up here, actually taken by BC Lions, makes his way to Hamilton. Into the end zone, so Leggio, after missing the extra point, hacks this one down a little bit short, and it's picked up by Ryan Leader, trying to run to the wide side. And he gets chopped down as well. Just tap on the play, Robert Panabaker out of Western.
Panabaker, I've been impressed with him this year on teams and defense. When he's in the ball game, he's making plays always around the football. He's one of those guys that just jumps off the field consistently for the Ticats this year when he's been on the field. Not sure if I'm leader on that play, if I'm going to run east and west. North and south. That'll be a teaching moment for Mark Killam, special teams coordinator, in meetings tomorrow.
Matthew Schultz back at the controls for the Stampeders offense. This one handed off in between the tackles. Kylan Hill. And the momentum just can't get rolling right now for the Stampeders on any 3 sides of the ball. You've had the Cody Grace Shank, you've had the defense struggling with Bo Levi and Mitchell. The running game has always been a staple of the Calgary attack. Yeah, they got Kylan Hill, younger back in, but really troubling to see them not being able to get into rhythm at this point in the game. 20-0 goal early on in the second quarter. By Ryan Baker out from the middle linebacker spot. Schultz goes to the right-hand side, and the pass is incomplete. In behind Mark and Michelle, dangerously up for grabs that time.
Yeah, I can see Chris Jones's defensive style and play here tonight, first quarter into the second quarter. Just a lot of things going on. It's noticeable, just spatial awareness on the football field for Jonesy and the impact he's had with this football team since coming over as their new DC from Edmonton. Of course, getting let go by the Elks earlier on in the season, but it didn't take him long to find a foothold here in Hamilton with longtime friend and coach Scott Malinovich, and he's making a difference in that side of the ball.
Return here from Lawrence Woods. Wrapped up by George Idoko out of Saskatchewan is Tim White. Got a pair of majors on the board to go alongside Giovanni Robinson's 20-0. Hamilton leads the Stampeders. Tim White on fire out of the gates here in Hamilton, the final home game of the season. Just a nice little easy one to the flats, and of course, being able to walk it in, followed up with the second one, which a little higher degree of difficulty, I guess you could say, Matty, if anyone covered him.
Nobody's covered him yet. And Bo's just loving life right now, thinking, where was this all year?
I start to wonder what kind of numbers could get posted for Mitchell tonight as he looks over the top. Stephen Dunbar, free and behind coverage, cuts back, and is tackled not until he's at the Calgary 36.
Yeah, first of all, you need timing, and you need time, and that's exactly what the offensive line gives to Bo Levi Mitchell. He's just pitching a tent back there because people are stepping up, and Bo hangs in there tough, lifts it over the top, and he's got Dunbar for another big gainer right over the top of Cameron Judge, who had great depth in his drop, but not enough for Dunbar, running scot-free in the secondary.
200 yards for Bo Levi Mitchell with 12 minutes remaining in the second quarter. He wants more, tries to go back shoulder, just his second incompletion, his first actual incompletion, because the only other one was a throwaway. That will make him 11 of 13 to this point in the ball.
I've seen enough, Marshall. You got to get him off the field. He's just not feeling it. That was close.
It's gone ice cold all of a sudden. Yeah.
That's fun to watch. Talented professional on top of his game, feeling it, having one of those nights. Well, this is
congratulations to everyone who has him in fantasy, by the way.
Right? Yeah, that'd be good. And Tim White.
5 receivers for Bo here. Stands in. Clean pocket once again. Dunbar makes another grab. Came in with 59 on the season in his return to the black and gold after some time away with Edmonton. Moves the chains once again.
Yeah, Adam Konar, veteran from right here, Calgary. He expands out. Watch him expand this way. And right in behind him, ball just knifes the football. Whoosh. Whoosh. And I don't know who he was covering. He got to his spot. They were throwing it a different way.
Let's talk to the fullbacks. Motions in alongside Bell. They'll empty Bell out one-on-one outside with Cam Judge. And Judge gets just enough to drag Bell out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
San Diego State versus UCLA out in the flats right there. Nice ball. Allows the running back to turn it up. UCLA just grabs enough of that shoulder pad to redirect him out of bounds. Otherwise, San Diego State is in the end zone for Bo's fourth.
Bonnie Robinson split out at the bottom of your screen. Big number 49 just had the receiving touchdown. They flop the receivers over. Mitchell takes the run, knifes this one into the end zone, make it 4, and Stephen Dunbar has his 4th major of the season.
Clinic. Just timing route, just sprint, 3-step sprint out to your right. Don't even need to point fake. Just stick it on him. Just going to find the soft spot in between Williams and Devine. Yeah, that's Calgary's got some issues right now here in the first 20 minutes of this football game.
It is a Steel Town beatdown. 26-0 with the extra point to come. As Leggio splits the uprights on this one. How about another touchdown drive? This time 5 plays, 80 yards in 2:24, and Stephen Dunbar Jr. adds to his season tally as Mitchell's game continues. Four touchdown passes for Bo Levi Mitchell against his old club. He's never beaten the Calgary Stampeders, and unless something completely unforeseen happens, I think Bo's about to get his first victory against the Calgary Stampeders.
Calgary needs to show up first because he's throwing on air right now, making it look tremendously easy. This is like the varsity versus the JV team, inter-squad game, first team versus the third team right now. Bo Levi Mitchell, this is embarrassing for the Calgary Stampeders. No other way to put it. They got to bow their necks and find a way to start competing because Bo Levi Mitchell is lighting them up.
Two sides to every story, the greatness of Bo against his old club. But man, does Calgary ever look like a team that's struggling to find any kind of energy as Tyler Turnowski gets a special teams tackle on Highland Hill. And Bo still working the tablet over there with Taylor Powell, who might, Bo does know a little thing or two about football.
Yeah, if I was Taylor, I'd be in his lap trying to touch his arm there, trying to whatever you're doing, I want some of that. Rub it up on me, bro. Yeah, there's a look at Taylor on the left and Bo on the right. Two tremendous competitors, light years apart as far as experience goes, and Bo is showing the way tonight. Yeah, this is how you do it. Patman on his left, Keanu Smith on his right.
Handed off inside. It's the Calgary running game.
Sounded like me checking out the LCBO.
Dave Dickinson.
You didn't even know what to say about that.
Hold things down. Pumpkin spice ales, seasonals. Yeah, that's what you're into. Stampeders might need a couple after the way this game has begun. And now down the sideline, their first explosive passing play. Mark and Michelle gives them a little bit of life, crossing into Hamilton territory. I haven't been able to say that.
Yeah. Well, I get a little extra offensive lineman in there, fullback basically. Davis in there, give him a little protection. Swing it out to him, get you some. That's the way it's done. Now you start stacking those together. Matthew Shields desperately trying to climb back in this ball game.
Fresh set of downs. Schultz against the four-man rush, starts to feel the pressure. Casey Sales slaps an ankle but can't bring Schultz down, and he runs through contact. And a nice run that time for Matthew Schultz, who had 81% of Calgary's rush and pass total last week against Edmonton.
Yeah, showing off his athletic ability, something that Dave Dickinson early in the week says, yeah, you know, he just brings a different aspect, and this is it. This is it. He's breaking tackles, getting those extra yards, and you're not going to get the other quarterbacks they've thrown out this year. Obviously, Tommy Stevens, yeah, you might have a chance. Got to take it to the house in a heartbeat. Matthew Schultz is a starter. He brings that ability.
Bit of appreciation there from Dave Dickinson. As Schultz came to the sideline, Tommy Stevens comes into the ball game and bowls his way forward, as he's done so successfully throughout his CFL tenure with the Stampeders.
And Tommy's from Penn State, third-year player. He's had some long runs, too, in these short yardage situations, run away from people. As big as that kid is, it's impressive because he can flat out fly.
And, a couple years ago.
Just don't know how much he can sling it around the yard yet.
Still a developing quarterback, but certainly putting the work in behind Jake Nairn. Now Matthew Schultz, as Kylan Hill looking for anything up front to make his way through. Did the football come out at the end of this play? Hamilton says they have the football.
DQ Thomas is saying it is.
Stavros Katsantonis there, Destin Talbert, and the football's rolling around. They've already obviously whistled it dead.
From bad to worse for the for Calgary Stampeders is.
And Kylan Hill couldn't find anywhere to run, and then someone got their paw on the rock. Tom Valesi, the referee, will look it over. Yeah, football is clearly out. At the bottom of the pile, Hamilton picks it up with a 27-point advantage. 14 first downs for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, just 5 for the Calgary Stampeders. They were getting something going, but look at that great play by Ray Wilborn, being able to punch the football. Everything going right for Scott Milanovich's club. Let's go check in with Matthew Shinetti.
Maybe that's why this week during practice, Marshall, Scott Milanovich was sounding quite buoyant when he was comparing what the Ticats have gone through late this season, not really the beginning of their season, but the late in this season, and his time as a backup quarterback with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during Tony Dungy's first season in 1996. He said the progress the team was able to make helped them become contenders in the old NFC Central, and that's why Milanovich told us, quote, "No lulls. We want to carry what we've built over the last 6 weeks. More than 90% of the guys in the locker room are buying into what is going on, and we want to be a part of this." And, well, up 4 scores, that's pretty clear, Marshall.
Yeah, absolutely, Matthew. Thank you. It's a natural, you know, the talking point then becomes, okay, but is 90% of your roster going to be back? Because you didn't make the playoffs, so there has to be some turnover. But Milanovich is basically saying, anybody who's here right now, we want to try and continue this momentum for the second half of the season.
That's an interesting question because you got Jonesy on the defensive side of the ball, and I was in the equation helping make a few decisions. Scott Milanovich, first year with the team, as far as having the reins, I think we could see a bit of movement going on with Hamilton trying to move.
One-on-one, Dunbar Jr. out there against Demario Houston, little ISO route. Dunbar wins the battle. 6-on-6 to the outside for another Tiger Cats first down. They're 15th.
And just another example of a veteran quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell, slinging it. Gunslinger, just piece of cake. That's a long throw. It's about a 40-yard throw on the money in front of a Mario Houston. Is a thief back there. Impressive.
Tiger Cats 7 of 7 on second down. Bo Levi Mitchell at the controls. He looks right, comes back left, decides to take the one-on-one battle, goes back to Houston against Dunbar. Ball's incomplete. Lifted over the top. There is a little bit of a wind drifting into his face there, but
no, I mean, this is a ball that I think Dunbar would like to have another shot at. Bo puts it on his outside shoulder. Just pivot on your outside foot and rotate and catch that thing.
Reminiscent of a fantastic
you can't
catch.
do that.
Yeah, Dunbar had down that left sideline against the Ottawa Redblacks years ago. Was one of the top 50 CFL plays of the year. Brought it down with one hand. That time couldn't get both on it. So 2nd and 10. for Mitchell. Max protection gets hit as he throws to the outside and off the hands of Tim White. Incomplete. Benjamin LeBron set on McGill, the rookie, in coverage.
Now watch Greg Bell. You just don't have to tote the rock. You got to protect it. And this is what he does on this play right here. Gives his quarterback an opportunity. Yeah, just deflect him out of the way, stand tall. Bo gave his receiver a chance. White kind of bent that route coming out of it, and he couldn't find his feet to get back underneath them. Thought it was a catchable ball.
With 5:41 remaining here in the first half, I'd like to introduce you all to a man named Nick Constantino, who's the punter for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He sends it away down the field. The first time Hamilton has not scored a touchdown on a drive in this ball game.
See what you're doing.
Constantino. A great double header coming up for you. Ottawa, Toronto. Could be a great matchup as it'll be 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on CTV, excuse me. We'll have that game. And then, of course, it is the CFL and TSN with the Alouettes and the Lions. You can tune in at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN for that one. Vernon Adams Jr. back in the saddle. Looking forward to seeing Drew Brown as well. There's a ton of players coming back for the Red Blacks in what is arguably their biggest game since the 2018 Grey Cup against the Calgary Stampeders, led by Bo Levi Mitchell.
We're going to see Davis Alexander, too, or Cody Fitzgerald. What are we going to do?
Schultz, the former Alouettes quarterback, has this one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And we've talked so much about Bo Levi Mitchell, but man, this defense is buzzing around as well for the Black and Gold.
Yeah, and pretty easy to do when you got a 27-0 lead. Play everything in front of you and jump it. It's kind of like pot hanging in basketball, you know, just play defense.
Can you decode Jonesy's signals there for him?
We're going to take the sword and we're going to stick it in them. That's what we're going to do on one side. We're going to do it again on the other side.
We'll see if we get a double sword blitz here.
Rush 3, drop 9.
Dropping everything out. Now Schultz has to run away as the cavalry comes. And Schultz is wrapped up from in behind. Obviously not how he imagined this game unfolding. And trying to make the best of it, but nobody open against that 9 men dropped in coverage.
Yeah, leaves right here, and just a 3-man rush. So we'll call what Chris Jones, defensive coordinator, was doing there is shield, right? So you're the warrior, and you got the big shield, and they drop 9, and they rush 3. Team right underneath. Chris got to be pretty pleased with what they're doing. I mean, that's playing the sticks and doing what you got to do.
And Milanovic told us this week that Jones has done a great job. He said we have a few limitations in our secondary, but he certainly worked these guys into shape and gotten the most out of them as Lawrence Woods tries to get the most out of this return. They'll blow it dead at the 40-yard line as Woods goes for a run, but this play has already been whistled dead as the Red Blacks and the Argonauts. CFL on CTV. Great matchup between these two teams. And man, 7 sacks when we were in Winnipeg for the Argonauts last week. Yeah.
That defensive line made a very good offensive line look average in a very hard football game. And look, I remember that game well. We did it. A couple missed field goals, and that's the difference in a ball game. Ball game could have gone either way, but this one, 2 hard-nosed defenses going at it. 2 young quarterbacks that have shown a lot of promise, and Iranian MOP, Chad Kelly. I've really been impressed with what Chad Kelly's been playing as of late. Maybe not big numbers, but he's doing things in order to put his football team in a position to win and getting those W's right now.
3 defensive linemen in the top 10 of CFL sacks for the Argonauts. As Tim White free down the middle again. He jumps backwards thinking someone's there. They weren't, and then finally gets tackled at the 40-yard line. Are we on the Matt Dunnigan passing record watch yet?
Wow. I think that's been surpassed already. Yeah, just coming from Bo's right to left, and again, great protection, clear vision. Tim White sees ghosts as Kobe Williams is nowhere near him. It kind of lets him catch up as he makes a move on nobody. Another big gain for Hamilton.
8 times this season, Bo Levi Mitchell has gone beyond 300 yards passing. And he's bumping up against that already here before we hit halftime. Sits at 277 right now.
Yeah, well, 3 times he's gone over 400 over the course of his career. I think that's what we're looking at tonight. One step at a time, Matty. right now is really not getting a lot of pushback from the Calgary Stampeders. Excellent protection up front.
Williams down, but pops up onto his feet after getting some attention. Looks like he's dealing with a hand issue after.
Probably needs some oxygen because he's getting run all over the field right now.
That secondary has got to be just confused, exhausted, frustrated. Bo Levi Mitchell taking advantage. Trying to close out the season on a high note here at home. Hamilton on the road in Ottawa coming up in week 21 in a game that could still have playoff implications depending on how tomorrow plays out with Red Blacks and Argonauts. Now Greg Bell gets a touch, breaks across the 30, and he's inside the 20 before Bentley Sanders escorts him out of bounds. We have hit the 3-minute warning here at the Donut Box. Snacks for everyone. Everyone's eating tonight in black and gold, including the running back, Greg Bell. Hamilton leads 27-0.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 147 yards away. That's it to 5K. We'll be talking about him at the half as well. We learned something about Paul LaPolice today. He used to be a bouncer.
Crazy. Bahama Beach Club, baby.
Everybody laughs. It's just the reaction you want. All right, Marshall, Maddie, back to you.
Where did that come from?
Here we go, Bo. Get another one. Get another one. 4-1. I like this formation. Double tight to the left. Nope. 3-1.
Pace for 616 yards right now, according to our stats man.
Sorry, Marshall.
John Perlberg. Oh, flag comes out late after the play. Looks like Coulter Woodmanson might have gone for a walk downfield. As you see Julian Hauser, lone Calgary free agent signing from a few years ago.
After the play, 15-yard misconduct penalty. Hamilton number 64. It'll be second down.
So Woodmansey does get a 15-yard penalty and puts his team in tough. But with Calgary struggling, we talked with Dave Dickinson about this. The idea of free agency signings. You see Julian Hauser was signed from Hamilton over to the Stampeders. And basically Dave said, yeah, this offseason we have to be more aggressive and think outside the box in the way that we are going to build our roster moving forward, because there's going to be some turnover in red-white. Second and 22. Now backed up at the Calgary 30-yard line. Tim White looking for a third touchdown. Bo looking for a fifth, but they'll hand it off once again, get some of that yardage back. And Bo Levi Mitchell.
He didn't look happy. Like,
well, Bo Levi Mitchell was just kind of did that little slow roll out to the left-hand side after the handoff, and then kind of paused and took a mental picture of the play and went, wait a minute, I think Tim White might have been open if I kept that.
I'm sure he was. The first 27 minutes of this game's been indication. I bet he was wide open.
Milanovic on the tablet already. As you see Mark Leggio come out, Western Mustangs grad.
Another kicker having an incredible season in the Canadian Football League.
And he missed an extra point earlier on. This one smooth sailing through the uprights. So after all touchdowns, to get things going, 4 of them out of the right hand of that man. Mark Leggio tags on 3 points and makes it a 30-zip ball game. Former Hamilton Tiger Cats quarterback Matthew Schultz. Talk about free agency additions, making moves. This is back in the 2023 Eastern semifinal. Schultz tried to get the offense fired up, but man, that Alouettes defensive unit last year on the heater they were on all the way to the Grey Cup. That's not an easy assignment.
You got that right, Marshall. They were shut down defense the last 8-9 weeks of that season.
Schultz looks outside this time. Markin Michel makes the grab and gets stuck. Immediately, Will Sunderland. And turn the volume up in your living room on this one.
Yeah, a little ice bath is in the future for Markin Michel.
Stavros Katsantonis just flew down on an inside run by Dedrick Mills. You don't see Katsantonis get overly involved in the running game, especially against the big back like Mills very often, but did the job that time. First down.
Ambrose has no problem sticking his head in there.
Flying around on the back end for the black and gold here with a 30-0 advantage. Outside, Clark Barnes looking for the sidelines. Inside 2 minutes remaining. And number 26 for now. Destin Talbert makes the play.
Why are you looking for the sidelines? That's my question to you, Marshall. Why are you looking for the sidelines?
Instinct.
You're down 30.
See the 26 of Destin Talbert, and the second last time that number being graced in this uniform for the home opener in 2025. They announced earlier on tonight, Garney Henley's number 26, who retired. Inside handoff once again. Schultz, Dietrich Mills. Christian Canu, rookie out of Washington State, grinding away in there at right guard here this evening. First round pick from the Stamps as they try to build up this roster. And Bo Levi Mitchell and Tim White having a giggle maybe about that last play where White might have had a third touchdown.
Yeah, throw it to me. Yeah, pull it. Throw it to me.
Schultz looks wide side, and we saw the driving legs of 22 Will Sunderland decided to chuck it into the feet of Clark Barnes, incomplete.
It's a long throw. You got to get there in a hurry.
You ever do that where you know it's not going to get there, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to fire this thing low.
No, I thought I could fit it in there. Then I was chasing the guy running down the sidelines.
Aim for the pylon?
Yeah.
Is that the rule?
I just started early, started running over there because that's what Warren Moon taught me to do. He'd throw that wide side out or hitch, and he'd just start running that way. I said, what are you doing, Warren? So I'm getting a head start in case that goes the other way. It's a long field, wide field here.
Jake Mayer watching on as Schultz struggling to find his rhythm. Gets away this time. Now tries to run, and 5 different Tiger Cats right there to slow him down. And it will be third down for the Stampeders.
You gotta like Mark. You gotta like Sales. Casey Sales is just, he's a warrior. Epitomizes what you want in an interior defense lineman. We got a lot of that in the CFL.
Now comes Rene Paredes, moved up the all-time scoring list with 10 points in the Week 14 loss against Edmonton. Moved ahead of Edmonton legend Dave Cutler into sole possession of 8th place on the CFL's all-time points list. And Rene's services have not been needed until now, and he delivers as always. As you see the halftime show coming up for you, looking back there alongside Enoch Mwamba, Chezzy and Miltz breaking it down for you. I want to hear Ches break down the Calgary secondary. I don't know if he can spin some yarn if that's not the
Ches
plan
can break down anything.
with a minute to go in the half here, but I'd love to get an understanding of what he's seeing.
I'd like to know what Enoch says about a defense that's getting torched, what he would say to his teammates.
Very young, talented Canadian defensive
Probably
back.
something like
Cinches.
one play at a time. You know,
Find a way.
we can do.
Yep.
Create some turnovers. 2 and outs. That's what they got to get done.
Ground game. All of a sudden, the emphasis for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I guess the question now, if you're Scott Milanovich at halftime, is do you let Bo Levi Mitchell continue to go on this absolute hot streak of a first half and bring him back in the third, or do you shut him down and give Taylor Powell the second half and an opportunity to learn?
He may not have a choice. His arm may be tired. It's like, Coach, I can't. Done.
And the only reason I ask that is because they have gone more running game focused in the second half of the second quarter, which makes you think maybe they're just getting Bo out as now they go back to Keandre Smith. Quick little out route at the sticks. It'll be a first down for the Tiger Cats.
You know, it's interesting. You know, Scott Milanovich playing quarterback and being an OC head coach for many clubs over the course of his career. Yeah, he would, you know, you can outthink yourself, right? You know, it's like, no, it can't possibly be there again. No, it's there again. You know, and you can play games with yourself, but I think he's just trying to keep it balanced so that they continue to have time for Bo Levi Mitchell and protect him.
Mitchell pumps, gets it outside off the hands of Stephen Dunbar.
You see, that's what you can't have, right? And as a receiver coach, as a head coach, you want to. I mean, Stephen Dunbar feels terrible about that, right? You know, but it's one of those things you just got to stay locked in. And we know what he did there. He didn't catch the ball with his eyes, and he turned his head a little too early. And thanks to Milt, everybody across the country understands that. And to me, that's a perfect example of it. Got to stay locked in and keep this momentum going.
5 wide here for Mitchell and the Tiger Cats offense. He does go out to that one side. He's picked. And it'll be a house call all the way to the end zone. Trey Roberson. Touchdown Stampeders.
That's his 4th interception of the season, 17th of his career. He had 3-in-1 game back in 2019. Watch him. He's just sitting here. And Bo kind of leads his receiver up the field and right into Roberson. And he says, thank you. And it's a house call. Well, that's what they needed right there. Climb back into this thing. Only 20 points down after this convert.
Roberson's 6th year at Illinois State. As Paredes now.
Oh, man.
The rare miss. Sends that off the top of the upright. So 24 seconds remaining and 30-9. But man, Rennie Paredes does not miss.
Trey Jr., I love you, baby. Happy birthday. That was for you, baby.
Trey, boy, he's a ball hawk. Bo kind of played right into his hands. He led Patman up the field. Didn't need to because he was open underneath and the ball drifted. I'm not sure if he saw Trey. Trey saw him. Had no problem taking that to the house for his 4th of the year, 17th of his career.
Well, dropping dimes all over the place in this first half is Bo Levi Mitchell, but that time throwing one to the old uniform, red and white.
Sometimes you get confused. I know I did. A lot.
2nd career pick 6 as well for Trey Roberson.
That feels good, you know, a little something going on. Maybe a little Debbie Downer right there at the end, missing the convert. But everything matters right now, and Stampeders trying to build and gain some momentum. That'll help.
Roberson, a couple of birthday shout-outs to back home. Hamilton gets the football back. Bo Levi Mitchell throws a pick 6 that stays as only 6 points after the Rennie Paredes missed convert attempt. 15-yard return there from Lawrence Woods as Mitchell slaps the helmet back down. And what do you think, Matty? Open it up? Empty? 6 wide? What do we?
I think he's going to stuff number 5's gut right here.
If that. We'll see what Scott Milanovich decides to do, but certainly mission accomplished in this first half.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder if they would have had a better performance against Winnipeg. And we're still mathematically alive in a variety of different parts of the CFL playoff picture. What a game like this could have done to send them in on a hot streak. Bo Levi Mitchell will kneel it out.
Yeah. Will we see him in the second half? Discuss amongst yourselves.
Halftime panel coming up for you. Enoch, Chezzy, Milt, alongside Laura Dyken as they will break this one down for you and also turn attention towards, of course, the big Toronto-Ottawa matchup coming up tomorrow at BMO Field, trying to lock down that 2nd spot in a home playoff game in the East semifinal.
Really impressed with what I saw from the Ticats offense that first 30 minutes of play. Minus that last pick 6. That happens, though. You're a gunslinger. It's going to happen. But Bo Levi Mitchell was certainly on point. Put his team up 21 points here in an early blowout. I can tell you that it'd be seated. Taylor Powell, second half.
Well, Bo Levi Mitchell is alongside Matthew Shinetti. Matthew.
Okay, so let's subtract that pick 6 out of the equation. Is that what momentum looks like?
Something like that, right? Just get out there and put it on. I think offense, defense, special teams all finding their way tonight. A lot of big plays are being made. You know, turnovers, defense doing a hell of a job getting this ball back, and offense finishing.
With the way that you're playing right now, do you want to stay in the game in the second half?
Yeah, trying to stay in. I always want to play. I don't care how good, how bad I'm doing. I always want to be the guy on the field of football.
No doubt about that. Thanks, Bo. Appreciate it. Well, Laura, that pick 6 made it look a little better, but Ticats still up 21.
We're wondering if he did that on purpose, you know? He's like, listen, I want to stay in for this second half. I want to get to 5K. But yeah, he's 143 yards away from that milestone as we welcome you here back inside the studio. And yes, all Hamilton there in that first half, 30-9. And guys, in the pregame, we were kind of asking you, like, there are a lot of reasons to come up and play for this game despite not being in the playoffs. We're definitely seeing that from Bo Levi Mitchell. And it's been an interesting season, right? There's no clear-cut favorite for MOP this year, which got us talking, got us thinking about the fact that can a player whose team is not in the playoffs still be in the conversation, should be a serious contender for MOP? Your thoughts, Davis?
Yeah, absolutely they should be, and they can be. The issue is at quarterback. I think in a league where 6 of 9 teams make the playoffs, if you're that dominant and consistent enough to be the MOP, I don't see any scenario where your team doesn't make the playoffs. So that's the issue. If you're a defensive back or wide receiver, you could go that bananas to where you're the most outstanding player in the league, and your team might still make the playoffs if you have bad play at other positions. If you're a quarterback, and Bo was excellent. We saw some great play from Bo, but it wasn't consistent all year long. So no, I don't think a quarterback will be the MOP of a team that doesn't make the playoffs, but they should absolutely be considered.
You said team. This is not a team award. This is an individual award. Regardless if your team makes it or not, if you ball out like Bo is doing, he'll lead the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Going into 2025.
Yes. This is our advanced data feed on TSN Plus. Give me a little bit right there, highlighting that play, highlighting the players. Bo dropping in a one in the bucket right there. But yes, he definitely deserves to be the MOP. Because I alluded to, this is an individual sport, and the individual is doing great. Yes, I'm sure it would make it easier if he made the playoffs, but it's an individual sport, so he should have an opportunity to win.
So, no, you say he should be the MVP? The MOP?
He should be the MVP.
He's your pick.
I'm saying that. Stop questioning me, son.
Ooh, he's your pick. He's your pick.
He's my pick.
Nobody your son.
That's my son right there.
Oh, no. That's back in the day. But look, you got to have, if you're a quarterback, you got to have some astronomical numbers. Now, look, Bo's had some great numbers this year. But you got to also look at the state of the league and every other quarterback as well. And that is just everybody was struggling. I mean, the starting quarterbacks became backups. The backups became starters. And there was too many. There's some that got injured in VA. We saw all the types of changes that happened. Really, Bo was the one that got the closest to a consistent and usual season for a starting quarterback in this league. But I don't know if the stats were astronomical enough to overcome the fact that his team, he didn't take his team to the playoffs. He got benched as well.
Who in the East right now will be your MOP? Who in the East? Real quick. You can't think of it exactly. That says it all right there.
It is tough.
Take it. That says it right there.
The last quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards and win MOP was?
Bo Levi Mitchell.
Bo Levi Mitchell in 2018.
Can I say one thing? There's no way that Roller Middle, with his year on defense, you're going to give the quarterback the MOP? With his year on defense? What do you have to do to win the MOP on defense?
That's right. I like Bev, Milk.
Are we going to see Bo in the second half? Yes? Clean sweep.
Let him in, Scott. Let him in.
Bo Levi Mitchell.
Let him get 5,000.
Getting close to 5K.
Let's do it. Let's do it on TV.
You think you've seen it all? You better think again. There is no question if I'm making it, it's only when. Greatness is never given, it's gotta be earned. You replace all that pain with everything you learn. Just one shot, that's all I'm gonna need to break away. What you got, you can't stop this train across the pain.
The pressure coming, Arimalotti. He's got him. He's got him again.
Pressure on, tries to get away, can't. Arezda flying his way into that backfield. Laro's arms all over him, and he's going to get slammed down. Ralph Hawley.
Watch the big guy move.
Everybody on the defensive line got a sack.
They have some momentum now going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that Argos defense is playing some great football right now, isn't it, Enoch? Yeah. Getting on at the perfect time. The group leads the CFL in sacks, as you can see. And with more on tomorrow's huge game against the Red Blacks, the battle to host that Eastern semifinal, it's Coach's Playbook with the one and only, the bouncer, Paul LaPolice.
Toronto was spectacular last week. 7 sacks, 4 takeaways.
Kevin Iben, Willie Fields, Demetrius Maxey, an outstanding game plan. Let's look at Lapo's big board. Let's take a look at a couple of clips. Look at what happened last week. So watch what happens right here. They're in a zone structure, but look how deep these linebackers are. Usually when the linebackers are this deep, you throw a check down to Brady Oliveira. That's usually what happens. Now, when you go to the end zone, you'll see Brady Oliveira couldn't get out. Why couldn't he get out? Because this is a zone blitz. Now, you have a slide side to your protection where that's easier for the offensive line. 3 guys can block 2. This is the hard part, the man side. This is where the Bombers had trouble last week. Brady Oliveira on Wynton McManus. That means Brady can't be a check down. But here's where it broke down here. Lofton, what happened? Flo gets his hands on, and Lofton gives up his chest. He gets driven back into Zach. Zach feels it. There's the first sack. Pursuit was spectacular last week as Zach would feel pressure, start to scramble. You would see as he comes up here, Milton knocks the ball out. Wynton McManus picks it up for the takeaway. And again, we talked about a slide. See all 4 of these linemen moving to this spot. That was not the issue last week. It's the man side when you're in a one-on-one situation trying to handle. Once again, they brought Wynton McManus versus Brady Oliveira. Big win here by Wynton, and then Flo's there to make the play. So really spectacular. Now, the Ottawa Redblacks got to be concerned about this, but Ottawa's last win was 5 weeks ago against this Toronto Argonauts. Drew Brown was spectacular. He's back. 75% completion, 350 yards. They didn't turn the ball over. The Argos did 6 times. That's going to be the difference of the game. Hey, Laura, I'm feeling a little bit like you're questioning that I was a bouncer at the Bahama Beach Club back in the day.
I'm not messing with you. No chance. Nope.
Take off your shirt, Coach.
Let's go.
We need the ratings here. Argos Redblacks, game 1 of our doubleheader on CTV. Again, a Toronto win. They would host the Eastern semifinal. Ottawa win, and second in the East wouldn't be decided until next week. Game 2 of the double dip features a pair of playoff-bound teams. This one you can see on TSN. Final game of the regular season for the Lions. And oh yeah, Vernon Adams Jr. is getting the start, his first since week number 9. So that's what's coming up tomorrow. But up next, Bo Levi and the Ticats putting on a show in this, their final home game of the season, as 5K Watch heads into the second half.
Aplenty for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in that first half, as the numbers show. Maybe a little spark on the other side for the Calgary Stampeders, though, supplied by Trey Roberson, a pick 6, his second career pick 6. He's staying alongside our Matthew Shinetti.
Trey, I don't want to describe it as relief, but I imagine there was a sense of, you know, the emotions probably changed a little bit after that pick 6, just given the way the game started.
Yeah, you know, we need to pick it up. You know, I gave him a play earlier. I got picked, you know, on a touchdown, so I wanted to make sure that I made a play for the team. And we just got to keep going, man. We got to pick it up. The second half of CFL is a long game, so anything can happen.
There's a lot of quality on this team. What were the discussions like in the locker room at halftime?
That we need to pick it up. You know, we got a lot of talent. The season didn't go the way that we wanted to go, but, you know, we still got another, 30 more minutes left. So we're just going to put it all out there and try to make as many plays as we can.
Thank you, sir.
Hold up. Shout out Trarian, baby. Happy birthday. I love you. Happy 7th birthday. I love you, Maverick.
A little birthday shout out from Trey Roberson as Dave Dickinson talking it over in the locker room at halftime. Got 30 more minutes to try and right things before heading into week number 21 as Trey Roberson, that second career pick 6. The first, July 6th, 2019 on the road at Saskatchewan. You got Cody Fajardo, now the leader of the East Division, winning in the regular season, Montreal Alouettes. Renee Paradis gets us underway here in half number 2 from Tim Hortons Field. Hamilton gets possession first because they ended up deferring, and Bo Levi and Mitchell, he told Matthew Shinetti before halftime began he wanted to stay in the game. Well, he wants to do more of this.
Yeah, and he lit it up. He's, what, 140 some line away from hitting 5K. Needed 424 coming into the ball game and a little over 280 in the first half. It's getting really close, and I think that's the objective here, is to continue to establish that rapport with his receivers and do this.
And man coverage all over the place. Bo hammers it home to Stephen Dunbar Jr. Off and running. The ball gets punched out from behind. Calgary's trying to get on it. It rolls and is punched out the side of the end zone. Should be a touchback here, as that was dangerously close to sending Bo into even more rare air, and it is Calgary football.
Wow. So, beautiful pass from Bo. Again, time to do it, too. I recognize that. Those big boys up front eating, and Bo says the best he's ever played with. And he's got time to feather one over the top to Dunbar. Dunbar breaks a tackle and is off to the races. And then it's just a great hustle play by Williams, punching that ball out, stays down the sidelines into the end zone, and right there touches out of bounds.
There you go, Houston.
But the ball had already touched out of bounds at that point.
The ball was fumbled through the end zone. It'll remain Hamilton's ball at the 28-yard line.
That's the right call, because the ball touched out of bounds. Now, if Williams had touched it before the ball touched out of bounds, it would be theirs. Here's the hustle play by Kobe right here coming in. I think just a tremendous play, and I really believe that Stephen Dunbar just kind of lost sight of who was behind him, because LeBron was right in his face, and he was trying to make a move there. Then next thing you know, bang, ball's out.
Houston tried to track it down and slap it out of bounds, but about 30 different rolls of the football, and the very last one before Houston got there, the nose of the football touched on the white paint. Levi Mitchell from the Calgary 28-yard line. The big completion to Stephen Dunbar this time goes to the wide side, and it's Patman getting back into the fold here once again. It's Desmond Patman looking for more opportunities in this offense and lay down some game film, proving he should be in the lineup more often.
I'm just trying to figure out who's out there on the corners. It looked like that was Devine Scott. He was out there on that play. Levi Mitchell, got a little lucky there, and so did Stephen Dunbar. Ball's punched out, goes throughout the back of the end zone. Point foul. Hamilton retains possession.
Bo setting the offense at the line of scrimmage this time. Hands off, Antti Litre, one of Scott Milanovich's favorite players from his time with the Hamilton offense here, and a former Calgary Stampeder himself gets a first down on the ground.
Yeah, and it helps when the big boys are on top of their game. Watch this blocking up front. Oh, man, just wash everybody down. Litre, a little patience. Cut back and then straight ahead, and the big boys just pounding it. Like you said, Marshall, Scott Milanovic absolutely loves this guy. Says he's one of the smartest players in the room. Says a lot about an athlete when the head coach says that about his fullback / running back / short yardage specialist.
Oh, this one popped up in the air. It's up for grabs. And it's incomplete somehow. The Stampeders couldn't grab it. Was that Keandre Smith that was the intended receiver that
I don't know, it got
bailed out?
He got ugly there in a hurry. That window closed. He's trying to fit one in there. He's feeling it, right? So you feel like you can throw everything, complete everything. And Keandre said, no, I'm not going in there. I'm not doing it. I'm going to stick my head in there. He just stopped, and the ball hit the defender. Keandre stopped right there because Williams was coming. And then here comes Y that wasn't caught.
Oh, the eyes get real big real quick for Jalen Hastings.
Hey.
Levi Mitchell looks to the end zone, and this one goes off the uprights.
Only did that one time in my 14-year career. Cost me the East Final in '94, and that's a terrible feeling. I don't care if it's you got a wide open receiver and you feel like it's on the money and can make a difference in the outcome of a ball game, let alone the East Final. And that's just an ill feeling right there.
Say shades of I just brought up Cody Fajardo's time with the Saskatchewan Roughriders and playoff game.
See, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. You can see it in his face.
2019 West Final off the uprights, and Fajardo hands to the head, falling down. Bo doesn't feel that pain right now, but certainly frustrated.
those last couple of throws, and it was a series that was a little, wow, what's going on? Take care of the ball. A lot of traffic there.
Maybe a little bit of football karma slowing down Bo Levi Mitchell against the odds as a field goal up and good for Mark Leggio, 33-9, Ticats lead. It's a full moon. That's what you see the moon this week?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Just lighting up the backyard the other night next to the campfire like somebody had a flashlight 10 feet over my head.
Wow, I know Noah was loving that.
Oh, yeah.
Guys doing s'mores back there, got the fire pit going, sleeping out in the tent. Roughing it.
Well, Calgary's been roughing it offensively in this first half, but Dedrick Mills.
Casantonis, better check him. Better check him. He just make sure he's okay. As Mills, he gets an opportunity here. Nice night. You talk about good blocking up front. Calgary Stampeders offensive line. Nice job of that. Coker just sealing it.
Yeah, injury spotter looks like they've pulled Stavros Katsantonis from the game.
I think that's the right move.
Robert Pannebaker comes in at free safety.
Katsantonis said, he can hit me, but I'm not going down. Injury spotter just saw it right away and did the right thing. Tough to stay calm. Stavros Katsantonis.
Cut on the cheek as well from that contact. So
chicks dig scars.
Worse for wear right now, and Pannebaker into the ball game at free safety as Matthew Schiltz looks left, comes back right, tries to throw a home run, and Clark Barnes in a battle. Jonathan Moxie's got two. They throw a flag, and immediately Moxie begins negotiating.
They were fighting the whole way. I can see it, and until Moxie.
Defensive pass interference. Hamilton, number 27.
Let's take a look at this.
Spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Those flags came out.
From the start of it all, I think Matthew Schiltz actually lost his footing on the throw. Which,
and they're right here. Yeah. Watch this little melee going on. They're like, stop. Quit touching me. One more look at it, and, you know, it's just... I mean, keep playing. Receivers just keep playing. I mean, I know he's trying to draw the penalty there because he feels like he's been fouled. A lot of help there.
Barnes draws the flag. Kylan Hill trying to make up for a first half fumble.
Yeah, it was a tentative run by him, and then everything got ugly, and the ball was popped out by the heads-up play.
Kylan Hill, a little conversation as well, trailing 33-9 after a couple of veteran CFLers of Brandon Barlow.
We heard Trey Roberson at the half talking to Matthew, and he's absolutely right. We got 30 minutes to play. No football game's been won in the first half, and they feel like they can get right back in it here.
Hill once again right into Nick Usher. Chris Jones continues to use Usher as that stand-up roaming around. Hill gets up, waves to the sideline, and back comes the hammer, Dedrick Mills.
Pretty good combination, 1-2 punch they got going. See if they can't keep it going here in the last 30 minutes of play. Phil, that was a well-earned first down right there. A help from Moxie. He's already made a great play to pick in the first quarter. Already had one there, and called for PI.
Looks left, comes back to the right-hand side, now wants to use his legs. A little bit of breathing room here. Matthew Schiltz, touchdown!
That was like he knew what he was doing. It's like, nope, not there. Nope. There it is. Now you got to have the ability and the speed to go ahead and exploit it and watch him navigate through this pocket here. A lot of bodies moving around, a little stun up front. And then he sees a lane, and it's good night, sweetheart. He's in the end zone. That's something that Dave Dickinson, head coach, general manager, talked about. Yeah, he's got that skill set. We like it. Offensive lineman talking to Sean McEwen. Sean said, yeah, you know, we're used to clearing windows for quarterbacks to throw to. Now we're clearing them for him, for a quarterback to run through. And to me, perfect example right there.
Finding it on his own as well. That's 5 plays, 70 yards, 225 is all that took. They'll go for 2 if they get it. It's a 2-possession game somehow. Schiltz looks right, fade ball. Reggie Beggleton all of a sudden, here come the Calgary Stampeders. We were sending Bo Levi Mitchell to the sidelines, wondering whether or not he'd even play in the second half. Well, the former Hamilton Tiger Cats quarterback trying to spoil the party. Matthew Schultz, 15 yards to the end zone, 33-17. Calgary Stampeders offense struggling to find any rhythm whatsoever in that first half. It began downhill run, Diedrich Mills straight into Stavros Katsantonis, and then all of a sudden it's Kylan Hill and Matthew Schultz. It's all legs all the time from the Stamps, off and running.
A little help there from Jonathan Moxie on a defensive pass interference on a deep ball, which got him into the red zone, and then Schultz capitalized it with his skill set, something they're not used to in Calgary for a long time. That's the 2 to Reggie Bagleton, two-score game. 16 points, a couple TDs, a couple two-point converts, right there.
Mayer alongside Tommy Stevens, watching on.
I know this, being in ball games like this, jumping out early. I'm encouraging my guys to keep the hammer down and keep pushing, because you can't let up. Because if you do, the opposition does, and they're not.
Let me ask you this right now, Bo Levi Mitchell, is he feeling the pressure? Does he feel like, oh, okay, I can't lose the final?
He's got
game?
a different feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely a different feeling going on right now than what was happening in the first 30 minutes of this football game. And he's locked in. Not that he wasn't. This is a different ball game. Oh, again, we saw this already in the first half.
Bo throws this one away. Nobody in the area, gets dragged down behind by, looks like that's James Vaughters, making the play. Needs 6 defensive tackles to reach 100 in his career here tonight.
Yeah, and this is the late pressure. Inside, Vaughters just keeps coming and makes Bo make a good decision, throw it away. But I thought he had the crosser here, the climb route from Tim White coming all the way across the field.
5-man rush. Bo trying to get away. Attack from in behind, and this one up for grabs. It'll go incomplete.
2 and out.
Desmond Patman, and all of a sudden Nick Constantino, who I only said his name once in the first half, comes out to send it away after a 2 and out.
Come right at you. Hicks is on him, right? That guy's an athlete. He's got 2 interceptions this year. Roberson, Drapen, Patman, 2 and out. Exactly what Calgary needed in order to keep the momentum going.
And it's the first 2 and out for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in this ballgame. So Calgary continuing to climb, put the pieces together. Constantino skies this one as high as the stadium. Hits inbounds and skips out in front of Cam Eccles. Matthew Schultz. Could he really lead the Calgary Stampeders all the way back against his former club? Well, he'll continue to try when we return.
Okay.
Calgary Stampeders.
Doubleheader tomorrow, too.
Yeah, trying to make this even more of a game.
We'll have the bank of TVs going on in Studio 6 watching that.
Back in studio tomorrow for Dunnigan. Looking forward to seeing those as Jalen Philpott reacquaints himself with the Hamilton defense. And this will settle once again between zones.
Yeah, very similar type of player. Keandre Smith, Jalen Philpott. I think just very talented. Just put the ball in their hands, both wear the same number, and they just flat out fly and get it done. Get you a bunch of yak. Number 2 there. 7 short.
Touchdown, Tommy Stevens. Flags fly. Schultz that stayed in for that one.
Calgary number 60. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Dominic Demery that time with the procedure call.
I mean, everything's going your way, trying to keep the momentum, putting yourself in still a decent second and manageable, but second and inches, now second and 6.
Yeah, pressure coming as well. Destin Talbert blitzes, it gets picked up.
Take it.
Schultz rolls to his left, pumps, goes looking for the first down.
Oh, he's...
And that's not...
sort that out.
Matthew Schultz doing everything he can to keep building momentum, but he has not moved, and Jake Mayer is getting warm.
He's coming right at you. One look at it, doesn't look good. He's trying to pick up the first down, going head first, maybe here. Trying to. What happened?
Well, high speed, high contact, and Matthew Schultz just got twisted in a really awkward way between two Tiger Cats. Carthel Flowers Lloyd was right there, special teams standout, and training staff out, while Jake Mayer loosens up after a couple of weeks away from being the starter of the Calgary Stampeders, as he had a extensive starting streak snapped when he lost it to Logan Bonner earlier on this season. And we will get out of the way and let the Calgary Stampeders look at Matthew Schultz. Well, when we left you, it looked like Matthew Schultz was in serious pain down on the field after taking this hit, but thankfully during the break, great news, he is up on his feet as Carthel Flowers Lloyd just kind of went low, and then it's like DQ Thomas came sliding in the backside as well. But Schultz obviously going into the injury tent to be evaluated, but great to see him actually stand up, walk his way off the field. Looks like he's trying to shake off whatever pain he felt in a left arm, left shoulder. But Jake Mayer, 4-9-1 this season. Came into the year as the franchise quarterback. They're out of the playoffs now, but he is in the game as Dedrick Mills goes for a gain of 14 on first down. Another first down using the wheels of Mills.
Just watch Dedrick here, your running back, and watch us cut in the hole. There's a man that's running hungry right there. Saw it and then hit it. Picked you up another 10 right there. That's great vision. Dave Dickinson hadn't been shying away from the run, regardless of score, regardless of quarter or half. He's been consistent with it. I like it.
There, pumps to the right, comes back, checks it down over the middle. Stavros Katsantonis back in the game, but Reggie Beggleton, who extended his catch streak to 69 straight games here tonight, continues to roll along.
Yeah, double move. Jake Mayer, Dave Dickinson were trying to get it, and you can see Jake say, no, that's not there, can't force it. Check it down to 84, why not? Reggie Beggleton getting him 9. Nick Lewis, Hall of Famer right there, patting his quarterback on the head.
Oh,
he knows how to do it.
Tommy Stevens, all three quarterbacks playing in tonight's game as Stevens finds the soft spot on the right side of that.
Is there such a thing?
Line?
Is there such a thing?
You find the bubble, man.
Okay.
Let me tell you how sneaks work. Okay.
Is there such a thing as a soft spot in that play right there? We always say that, but really, it's just an easier spot than most.
Better than going straight at the nose, I guess, is all we're saying, right?
It's just, heard me say it, it's nasty up in there.
94, Trevin Mason working in the middle of that line. David Bernard, Nick Usher, Casey Sales, all there. They'll try to deal this time once again with Dedrick Mills, who did hit the 2,000 yards rushing career mark tonight. Just needed 20 coming in. Up around 70 yards on the night now, and a dozen carries as well for Mills.
That one didn't go very far because Patrick Bernard said, no, enough of this stuff.
Well, we'd see a lot more of Kylan Hill. I wonder if the first half fumble that he had might have made Dave Dickinson, especially being down as bad as they were in that first half, just decide, you know what, I'll lean on the big man.
Yeah, and the way that Mills is running hungry, why not?
Jake Mayer remains in the ball game. Matthew Schultz still in the tent over on the sideline. Mayer looks to his left-hand side on 2nd and 6. He goes for much more, incomplete. It's Talbert right there alongside Wilburn in coverage.
Yeah, he's great coverage. Would have had to been a spectacular throw. Running out of room quickly, trying to find Dalen, and really had no chance. you're looking at a field goal. He had a drag coming from right to left and just was locked on the corner. Got to get off of that.
Benny Paredes, second place in franchise history with 227 regular season games played.
Hit that well.
Tags on 3 more points. Lawrence Woods watches it flip through the uprights. Matthew Shinetti has more on Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, it's a bit of a contrast, Marshall, from last season in Montreal when I asked Bo Levi Mitchell what his future would be. And this season, which has been disappointing, although he gets closer and closer to 5,000 yards. And when we spoke to Bo this week on our pre-broadcast Zooms, he talked about his excitement looking forward to next season. We already talked about the momentum that Scott Milanovic says he wants to build. But really, it's about Bo Levi Mitchell and the way he's been taking care of his body alongside Ticats strength and conditioning coach Marcellus Bowman. Getting on the field here at Tim Hortons Field, wearing his cleats, the way Bowman will tell Bo Levi Mitchell, I don't want you to know what workout we're going to be doing. I want you to go ahead, feel the turf. And that's the one thing Bo said to us this week. As he looks forward to 35 and his 13th season in the Canadian Football League, he's looking forward to getting back on the field as soon as he can, guys.
Thank you, Matthew. 95 yards away from 5,000 as well. And you talk about last time that he had this many touchdowns, well, 2016, 2018 with the Calgary Stampeders, obviously. Throwing a bunch of interceptions as well, a career high. But it's almost like Bo at this stage in his career, he's constantly playing this balancing act, Matty, between, am I old me? Am I chucking it? Am I doing everything that Milanovic wants? I'm in Hamilton, but I have parts of my past that just come out, and now it's an amazing experience to watch live and see Bo battling late in his career as he hands it off here. Greg Bell, plenty of room to run on second down, gets the first down right here. But what are your thoughts on Bo in this late career evolution in Hamilton?
Yeah, well, I think it's the yin and the yang of trying to teach an old dog new tricks. And Scott Milanovic talked to us about that earlier in the season. And when he actually set him down and Taylor Powell got an opportunity and got hurt and had to go back to him, it was a little wake-up call for Bo, and I think he started paying attention to his boss a little bit closer and started doing the things that Scott wants him to do, and things started working out for him, and as they are here tonight. So I think the old dog is learning new tricks because, like I said earlier, he's a deep to shallow guy, top-down quarterback. Scott Milanovic wanted him to work down to top a lot more and shallow to deep. Bo, a little play action, gets on the edge, finds Tuck, and Tuck finds somebody to hit. You know that. But, yeah, I think that's been the biggest difference is Bo's been accepting the coaching and doing a nice job with it second half of the season.
Working a lot with this muddle huddle at the line of scrimmage here in the second half with Bo running the show. This time he'll flip it on a little end around. Tim White looking for running room. Can't find any. Great pursuit that time from the backside. Coming in, Jacob Roberts, first-year linebacker out of Wake Forest, makes the play. Now a flag comes out well after the play. And did Micah Awe just draw Tim White into a penalty for
After
talking?
the play, we have a 10-yard misconduct. Hamilton number 12. The 10-yard penalty, second down.
Oh. Take a look at this play here. Tim's right here. He's going to come on a little reverse. There it is, over the top. Calgary does a nice job of stringing it out. LeBros forces him inside, and here comes the penalty. Little headbutt, little extra talking. Yeah, they're competing a little bit much after the whistle, so official stepped in, give him 10 yards.
Inside 90 seconds remaining in the third. 13-point Tiger Cats advantage. Bo Levi Mitchell dances up the pocket and then turtles. And that'll go down as a sack. Is that Hicks? Yeah, he almost had him chasing from the backside earlier. But this time, Hicks does get home.
Yeah, and I really like what I've seen in Hicks. I just like to see him out there and doing this consistently because he's a heck of an athlete, certainly in space here. Because he can so mobile. Bo kind of just gives it up right in front of him, so that was easy. But believe me, that guy is a straight-up player and makes a difference, certainly on stunts. Not having to play the big left tackles or left guards or the people in front of him. He starts playing half of them and starts moving up and down that line with his speed. Look out.
That was the rare sack that comes on a play where you stop to complain that there might have been a procedure call against the left tackle. Hicks did that and still found a way, as Bo had to hold on to the football. Now this will be returned. Eccles is chased down that time on special teams. The long snapper, Gordon White, got there.
It wasn't a 2-and-out, but it was a good series defensively by Calgary to give the offense an opportunity. Jake Mayer, see if he can't get something going. He forced it on 2nd and 6 in the last series and had to settle for his field goal. So here's a guy that, you know, kind of a lot of people were saying he reminded a couple years ago everybody of a young Bo Levi Mitchell. The way he carried himself, very confident, commanded the huddle, very accurate. And then sometimes he just gets himself into trouble because he starts throwing into traffic and pressing a little bit too much. Very similar to the way Bo Levi Mitchell has been his entire career.
Bear looks there from that wide side, trying to throw it on timing to Clark Barnes. Will Sunderland right there in coverage. That will do it for quarter number 3. This game was 30-0. Now 33-20 as we head to the 4th. Calgary comes in 0-7-1 their last 8 games. Their first 8-game winless streak in 48 years. Trying to correct that here on the road in Hamilton when we return to the 4th quarter. 1-9 on the season are the Calgary Stampeders when trailing after 3 quarters of play. 343 passing yards to just 74, but the pick 6 earlier on in this game for Trey Roberson, and 147 rushing yards as well for the Calgary Stampeders. Can they actually come all the way back in this one, you think, Matty?
Well, I hope so. Why? Because they haven't not won a road game, one road game since 1946. All those seasons, they've won at least one time. They're 0 for now, and they're trying to correct that. And they dug themselves a hole, and they find themselves, what, only 13 points down now? So, hey, they got a chance. Should be an interesting 4th quarter.
Dave Dickinson on the hot seat coming into this one after his .712 winning percentage in the first 6 seasons as the head coach of the Stampeders. And trying to use every little bit of magic he can to get back into this one. Offensive play calling as well, as it remains Jake Mayer in the ball game to begin the 4th quarter, and he completes to Reggie Beggleton. Beggleton on the receiving end from Mayer. So much of that at the start of the season when hopes were high for the Stampeders on a playoff run.
Yeah, rushing 3, dropping 9. Castantonis comes down in the middle. Jake looks right and then fires left to wide open Reggie Beggleton. No pressure, no problem for any quarterback. Jake Mayer took advantage.
He did 38 receiving yards to surpass Marquay McDaniel for 9th place in the Stamps all-time list. Well, he did it after that catch. Inside handoff, trying to move the pile. Sean McEwen and the big boys up front for the Stampeders. Create a little bit more movement in this second half for Dedrick Mills, who spins his way out of the pile. Looks like they'll give him a gain of 5 on first.
I like what I've seen from the Calgary Stampeders, just digging down deep and fighting their way back into this contest. And it is a contest on so many different levels. Beating the man in front of you, the man is trying to take your job, put food on the table, trying to win a ball game, fantasy seats. There's a lot of things going on. And I like what I see from the Stamps. Fighting.
Mayer stands in, looks over the top. Reggie Beggleton almost intercepted. Stavros Katsantonis right there. Ray Wilburn is the one chasing Beggleton all the way across the field.
Yeah, and coming right to left across your screen. There he is, crossing the face of Wilburn. Ball's right there in his hands. And, you know, I think that's a tough catch, but one that want back. 3rd and 5, got to go for it here. Nope, ain't going to punt it.
Could have stayed aggressive on it, but Dave Dickinson, I guess, leaning on the field position switch. They can hammer this one from Cody Grace, who had a bad miss in the first half, but a beautiful punt here.
They only have 11. Calgary's only have 11 on the field.
Calgary tried to sub in a 12th player at the last second. They couldn't do it. Gorgeous night here in Hamilton, about 12 degrees. Clear as could be, moon overhead, and a great 4th quarter. Early on this evening, the Hamilton Tiger Cats announced the number 26 of Garnie Henley is officially going to be retired at the home opener next year. Well, here's how he found out from the caretaker, Bob Young.
I have a very disappointing story for you.
Oh, what's that?
No one's going to get to play in 26 again.
Oh, is that right?
We're retiring your number.
Oh, Lord.
It's only the third number in the history of the team that we've ever retired. And the debate is everyone thinks yours should have been the first number to be at least my cousin Bill and I think that way.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a very good honor.
The only other two numbers that have been retired, Angelo Mosca and Bernie Filoni. You see there alongside Garnie Henley in the Ring of Honor as well. So tremendous honor for him, and Hamilton would love to send their fans home with one more victory this season at home in the final home game in honor of Bernie, and all of that being announced earlier on this evening. Levi Mitchell. Stutters in the pocket, looking over the top. Tim White running free through the secondary again. It hung up, but he falls underneath. It crosses the 55, and Tim White is brought down at the 44-yard line of the Calgary Stampeders. Another explosive play for Bo Levi Mitchell and the Tiger Cats offense.
Yeah, Bo Levi Mitchell just chunks this one up there, and Tim White, again, finds himself behind the Calgary secondary. Reels it in, big chunk for the Ticats as they needed it. As Calgary's nipping at their heels now at 13 points down.
Trying to steal some of that momentum back that Calgary has taken in this ball game, as Bo making his way up towards 400 yards passing in the ball game. Will he get it here? Looking for a screen on the backside. He goes to Greg Bell. That'll do it. Crosses the 4-bell mark, and another first down for the Tiger Cats at the 32-yard line of the Stampeders.
Coming. It's coming. Easy pitch and catch there. Well executed. All linemen slide to the left. Little play action fake. Boom. Bo flips his back. Darts it to him. People out front. Get out there, Woodmans. You get some. He gets his man. Picks up number 5. Easy pickings for Bo Levi. You say he's over 400?
409. There it is.
4th time in his career. Nice.
Massive night for 19. Can he punctuate it? Well, they'll try with the ground game first. Greg Bell run off to the left-hand side, but Levi Mitchell inside the score zone this season.
Same look, Marshall. That, you know, offensive line, they ran a screen last time and they just ran it this time, and I like what's going on with the offense right now. A lot of symmetry, a lot of give it to them, take it away, big chunks. Yeah, trying to steal back that momentum.
Scott Milanovic so good at understanding what coverages he's going to get and dialing it up, taking advantage. See what he can find here to try and exploit on 2nd and 6. Mitchell looks left. Beautiful pick play. Oh, a drop from Tim White. Spun around and incomplete. Saw one from Dunbar earlier. Now White and the field goal unit has to come off the sideline in the 4th quarter. It is a 13-point lead. Felt like you had to maximize that possession just to give yourself a little bit extra breathing room.
Yeah, and he's right here, and he's going to fly out into the flat all by himself, and Bo has a quick, easy read. Nobody goes with him. Little pick right there, little rub. We saw Dunbar do it earlier. Tim took his eyes off the ball before he had it secured, and that's a tough one.
35-yard attempt here for Leggio. Cam Eccles watches it sail through the uprights. And they do extend the lead. 16 points. Still a 2-possession game here. 10-17 remaining in this 4th quarter as Tim White couldn't squeeze it. Only by Mitchell. For answer. Well, there you see Cam Judge just given a 15-yard penalty at the end of the field goal, as you can see right around the 15-yard line. At the end of this one, Judge goes ahead and chucks Hamilton Tiger Cat that was trying to fight his way down the field.
Right here.
Yeah.
So that's where the penalty happens, and this happens on the sidelines.
Yeah, it was after the play, and so they end up 15 yards off in the starting field position, and it looks like Matthew Schiltz is in the game
about that throw?
Wow, down low for Markin Michel, who picks it up and goes for a run, cuts back across the 50. But Schiltz, after the mayhem from the Hamilton field goal, with a 16-point deficit, is back in with 10 minutes remaining in this ballgame.
Yeah, this just happened. And this is, to me, a big deal because Schiltz is healthy. They put Mayer down, and this is what happened after the field goal and the penalty. This is Cam Judge with the rookie on the sidelines making a point. Check myself. Cam Judge is a heady player. He doesn't run high. He's making a hard point right there to a young teammate.
That is 4-11.
Timer, can you please reset the clock to 10:05?
4-11 on the season, boiling over frustration on the sideline.
Yeah,
but Bentley and Judge trying to make good afterwards.
And this is what you got to do, otherwise this festers, doesn't go away. Been there, done that. Some big boys on the sidelines, confrontations, heat of the battle, it happens.
Island Hill gets the touch, but Judge making good with Sanders, trying to find a way to get this victory on the road, something they haven't been able to do all season long. A lot of empty road trips, and we always talk about getaway day in baseball. If you can win getaway day games, you can create sweeps, you can stop sweeps. Well, you also end up with a happy flight. There haven't been very many of those for the Stampeders this season. Schiltz, 2nd and 5, quarterback draw. After he was banged up earlier on.
Watch Casey Sales on this play.
Dragged down from behind.
Yeah, Casey Sales is just, he's spying this the whole way. He's right here. He's going to stun over that way. And boom, takes him right into play. It's a nice looking effort right there by 44. I think what we're seeing here with Schiltz back out there says a lot. One, I'm happy to see him not hurt. Two, I think where Coach Dave Dickinson is going in the future.
Looks left over the top corner route, losing his footing was Jalen Philpott. Incomplete. Destin Talbert was flying over there, is making another play in that 26th. Will be retired to start next season.
I think the ball's spot on. Like you said, Marshall just loses his footing. Couldn't come out of his break and relocate. Loses it again. That's a tough one right there. Sometimes a turf monster wins. You can't believe it.
On the field where his brother, of course, had the iconic Grey Cup winning catch.
They're watching on the big screen. Both Tommy Stevens and Bill Potter watching on the big screen going, what? What?
Great to see Matthew Schiltz back into the ball game. And for a team like Calgary, trying to sort out their quarterbacking situation as well, seeing Schiltz's toughness and also his willingness to play when banged up, certainly a vote of confidence.
I find it real interesting that Dave went back to him so quickly.
Dickinson continues to look over the play sheet. 3 Grey Cup appearances, losing in 16 and 17. And of course, winning back in 2018. As we'll take a break from the action with 8:28 remaining, a 2-possession ball game. There's Bentley Sanders back on the field after knocking heads with Cam Judge.
Game within the game.
Yeah.
A veteran trying to line up a rookie. A young player.
Levi Mitchell just 15 yards away from 5,000 passing yards on the season. Under center for Mitchell here. Hands it off. Greg Bell outside. And he cuts it back. And Bell starting to piece together a real nice effort here in week number 20. Hear my excitement for under center there, Matty?
Well, I don't think we're fooling anybody, but it is odd to see. I wonder when the last time 19 had his hands up underneath the center.
Katy, Texas? No.
Maybe.
It wasn't Eastern Washington or SMU.
No.
Checks at the line of scrimmage.
Love that.
Empty it out, roll the pocket to his right, and on the run, little sprint option, gets it to Keandre Smith. And Smith steps out of bounds at the 15. There it is, 5,000 passing yards on the season for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, right at you. He checked to this play, and then he throws a dart. He had to. That's thrown behind him. That's going the other way. Keandre Smith takes him over 5K.
Career high of 5,385 back in 2016.
That was a while back. That's about the last time that he scored a rushing touchdown, and I reminded him of that earlier in the week.
He's getting close. Let's see.
Oh, boy, I hope he gets it.
Going to use the wheels here tonight to punctuate things as Mitchell looks to his left, checks it down, and James Tuck incomplete. That was a forward pass. So he hits the turf. Bo Levi Mitchell with Zach Collaros and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on a bye this week. That's not going to shift. McLeod Bethel Thompson up in flux. Jake Mayer, Trevor Harris battling, getting hot at the right time, but man, 1,000 yards ahead of the nearest quarterback. What a season for Bo Levi.
He's calling it out here at the line of scrimmage right here. Here we go.
Career high 5 touchdown passes July 28th at Edmonton. Looking for his 5th here into a tight window. Stephen Dunbar Jr. Count him up, Bo.
Yeah, Bo Levi Mitchell darts this one in, feeling it, kind of exemplifies the night. Tight window, Dunbar in the end zone. Opposite field, man, he had O'Leary Orange for a walk-in. Could have thrown it around his back, but he decided to fit it in, just showing off. That's a beautiful job. Watch it, top of the screen. Right top of the screen, watch O'Leary Orange. Yeah, we'll get to that, but Bo saw something different, wanted to feed it to Dunbar, and he did.
4 for 9 on the year, 2-point conversion attempts. As they will go for the deuce. Dunbar and Tim White on your screen. Bo looks that direction, pressure on, throws it up for grabs, and it likely should have been intercepted. Mario Houston right there. So Bo now 24 of 37 for 450 yards. 5 touchdowns and the 1 interception, the pick 6. Trey Roberson as he goes and has a nice friendly conversation with Demario Houston, who's probably very tired of both.
Watch this up here. Bo doesn't see him. Excuse me, inside receiver, all alone. Just wide open up top, and Bo fits it in over there in the little triangle there between 3 defenders. Flexes on that one. So yeah, having a night over 5K feels pretty good. Special player, special night, Bo Levi Mitchell.
Well, a night like this, despite the pick 6 and slow start to the second half, Calgary building momentum. It looks like he will end the evening the way he began it, being dominant, throwing it down the field, big shot plays as well. And for this being the final Hamilton Tiger Cats home game of the season, this is going to send a message going into 2025, which honestly is exactly what Scott Milanovich wanted.
Yeah, with a few more W's. Definitely positive note right here in front of the home fans.
Big stick there, James Tuck, the fullback on special teams.
Taking that drop out on the returner here.
That was right in the middle. Highland Hill continuing to get some work. As we see James Tuck, the veteran fullback by way of York, 7th year in the Canadian Football League. This is what it looks like for the 31st overall pick back in 2014.
Just standing there flat-footed. Said, no, not on my watch.
You know, so often on special teams, you're just running forever trying to track people down. Maybe the secret is just stay in one spot, right? They'll come to me. That's what James Tuck's in on.
That's good leverage, man.
Enjoying his work on the Jumbotron. DeAndre Smith gets a good laugh out of it.
Along with Calvin McCarty. Yeah, his running backs coach. Loving him up.
Looking into a very tight window. Similar one that Bo Levi Mitchell just threw his 5th touchdown pass of the evening to Stephen Dunbar. Carthel Flowers Lloyd knocks away the Schultz attempt.
Yeah, just a heck of a play. Just coming up underneath. Superman. There it is. Would have been a big play going the other way. If you squeeze that one. Good looking young player right there.
I'd love to see a guy who led the CFL in special teams tackles getting a run.
31 last year.
Here on defense. He was way ahead of the competition as Schultz checks, now looks back, and that one should have been intercepted as well. Oh, that would have been great if 26 sent the fans home happy with an interception.
Maybe a little more time in the jugs machine for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Yeah, that's another great defensive play. Just well covered and then in position. Philpott's still having troubles keeping his feet.
Dunbar wants the football back, man. He wants to go get his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
Nice snap here. Former Ticat Aaron Crawford, and Cody Grace didn't like that punt at all. He spun out of it in frustration. And Lawrence Woods bounces off a tackler. Stiff arms trying to get away and wrapped up from behind. Bailey Devine Scott's had a frustrating evening. Nails that one.
He can run.
Shop over 1,000 new deals every week at Canadian Tire.
Lawrence Woods in the return game thought he had one there for just a second.
Bailey Devine Scott said no. I've watched him close on several people tonight. Bailey Devine Scott, effort play, get there. Didn't look like much, but he's hanging on because if you don't, Lawrence Woods, the 3rd, is to the house.
Levi Mitchell back to work. Stays on the field. Greg Bell's going to go for a tackle for loss this time. Mike Rose was in there alongside the former Tiger Cat, Julian Hauser, multi-sport athlete in high school. Found a love for the game of football and has excelled here in the Canadian Football League after a stint with the New York Jets.
He just stunted right into that. Momentum and everything going his way. I love Hauser. Clarion University. Yeah.
Stephen Dunbar Jr., 7 catches, 146 yards. Tim White, 5 catches, 128 yards. They both have a pair of touchdowns. Where will Bo Levi Mitchell go with this? On 2nd and long, pressure on, wrapped up, brought down. Hicks is home again.
He's an athlete, man. I expect big things from him next year. Yeah, I think he's one of those players that is just gonna continue to improve. Not even close to his ceiling, of course. I mean, it helps when you don't get touched. Got to get some hands on him, especially that guy.
Timeout, Calgary.
Yeah, you want to put hands on 73. Slow him down somewhat.
He slowed himself down a little bit. As the worst for wear. Juwan Simpson standing there alongside him as well, trying to stretch things out. Where does Calgary keep finding these pass rushers? Is my question.
Well, we've got a lot of great ones in this league. We got a lot of talented players, as you well know, Marshall, and it's yeah, it looks like he's shaking it off just fine. Yeah, we got a lot of great defensive coordinators that are utilizing their talent. Yeah, it's yeah, we're blessed.
Nick Constantino ready to kick it away. High snap. Hauled it down. Spiraling boot. Skips at the 36-yard line. And Eccles getting some work in the return game here. Back in the lineup. The Stampeders up and down season for him. And Matthew Schultz trying to prove that he has what it takes to be a starter in the Canadian Football League. He always said in his time in Hamilton, back and forth, up and down the roster when Dane Evans was here as well, that he just wants someone to believe in what he does, and he just wants someone to give him an opportunity to be the guy. Feels like he's earned it a little bit after spending several years as a backup in the Canadian Football League and filling in moments just like this, but nobody's ever bought in and said, yes, we will bring you in, we will get you close to a starter and give you that shot.
Right. And consistency with a particular playbook, play calls, coaching is important.
Emptied out 4-by-2 for Schultz this time against the 4-man rush. He looks over the middle, big hit. Highland Hill held on to it. Katz and Tonis.
Yeah, we saw Bo Levi Mitchell in the first half make a throw similar to this. Watch Matthew Schultz say, yeah, I got you too. Stand in there, left to right, dig, 7 routes coming across the middle. Beautiful, right over the top of the linebacker, in front of the defensive secondary and the back end. Spotted.
Good look there for Kylan Hill, absorbing the hit, being able to make the catches this time, trying to dig it off the turf. Did Eccles get his hands underneath in front of Jonathan Moxey?
I think he did.
It looks like he did. They'll spot it as we hit the 3-minute warning, 42-20. And we'll get a good look at it here down near the turf. Matty?
Yeah, count it.
Owen Brigman going to be rocking the SiriusXM kickoff show. Great week of entertainment coming up at the Grey Cup in Vancouver in November. Neither of these teams will be there as they are not in the playoffs. Trying to send a message to their team to end the season with a couple of victories as this one completed to Jalen Philpott.
Well, it's time for veterans to take the lead, stay locked in, trust the process, be pros, bring it every day, every play, teach these young guys how it's done.
Mark Barnes, one of those young players trying to make an impact. As I was just about to say, it sounds like you're just describing the bio of Reggie Beggleton at this point. This kind of feels like the time where Reggie goes ahead, gets 4 catches for 55 yards, and closes up the game with a couple of touchdowns.
Oddly enough, Reggie Beggleton all season long is the only Calgary Stampeder to have 100 yards receiving in a game. He's done it 3 times. That kind of speaks to the struggles offensively for Calgary. No other receivers gone over 100 yards at all season.
Wild. The Calgary Stampeders as Schultz back in the game, stands in the pocket, takes a big hit, throws over the middle, incomplete. Looks like it was Dwayne Hendricks that got the hit in on Schultz, and a flag comes out well after the play here once again. There's some chatting between the offensive line of the Calgary Stampeders. Joshua Coker.
As the offseason draws near for both these teams, these players are, some of the frustrations coming out. And, yeah, not the right way, too. Head coach has got to get in front of this, not the officials.
See Dave Dickinson watching on. 18 years in a row, 4th longest streak in CFL history, dating back to 05 that Calgary made the playoffs. That will end this season.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Roughing the passer, Hamilton number 8. A 15-yard misconduct penalty, Calgary number 64. We're going to be at the same spot, but it's going to be an automatic first down.
It's 54, Joshua Coker. So 15 and 15 and offset, and here we go.
Yeah, just looking for Hendricks right here. This big man, a 3-point. And this is going to be the roughing, which gives them the automatic first down. Yeah, the little hands to the head there.
Barlow might have got
a karate chop.
First of it flying in. Number 11 is a pair of former Argonauts pass rushers. Above to the head.
Karate chop.
Yeah, is what actually drew the flag. And so here we go. 1st and 10, Hamilton 33. They show blitz, send 6. Deacon Thomas was free. Over the top, incomplete. Asking for a flag maybe there was Kylan Hill, but he won't get it. Jonathan Moxey in cover.
And I think this is a nice throw by Schultz here because he's got pressure in his face. He's got to spot it. He does a decent job, and Hill's just got to track that better. Running back coming out of the backfield had an opportunity for a big play. Couldn't shut her down and play the ball better.
2nd and 10. Trailing by 22, 2:16 remaining tonight. What can he do here? This one knocked down. Who was that? Was it David Menard that got the big paw up?
It was a veteran, and he's been around. I can't believe how Menard's been around a while now. It's like his 10th year already. Skies too. It's not a chance. He's playing volleyball in the net right there.
Raw pass rusher.
Yeah, he is.
The best way possible.
University of Montreal. Long time ago, decade ago.
Pressure look here from the Tiger Cats front. They'll bail out, then send it from the field. Almost got there. Schultz looks into the end zone. Mark and Michelle couldn't find it. Incomplete. What a look that time from the mad scientist, Chris Jones. Lineup stacked in the middle. Bail one side, blitz from the other.
Yeah, kind of give it to him, taking it away. Chris Jones mixing things up still defensively. Look at the big boys in coverage. Yeah, get you one. Well, it came scot-free off the edge. And quarterback had to slide to his left just enough to give himself a chance to get rid of the football. Spotted it pretty nicely. Jonesy having fun down there. Why not?
Matthew Schultz, frustration obvious. Chris Jones in this defensive unit that he's led that's coming over from Edmonton. Maximizing their opportunities as Bo Levi Mitchell and the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense will come out to potentially salt this one away. Go to the ball security master. Antti Litre gets the touch here as Ottawa and Toronto getting ready to go on CTV coming up tomorrow, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Went McManus in action. Up against later in the day.
How old is that picture of Cody? Is that recent? I'm gonna check that.
Alouettes
he looks like VA today. Good to see him back in the lineup. See what he's got going.
Looking for a little spark of their own are the BC Lions. So Nathan Rourke to the bench and Vernon Adams Jr. back in. See if he can pick up a hot streak that he had early in the year when he was the MOP front runner. There's Greg Bell. Nice jump cut that time. This tackle won't be enough for the first down. Well, yeah, those should be 2 great games coming up tomorrow and plenty of playoff implications.
That was Bo's chance of pulling it there.
There's the East Division standings right now. Toronto in second, up against Ottawa.
Oh, yeah.
Ottawa dropped into 3rd place last week. Obviously, they already clinched a playoff spot. Their first time being back in the playoffs since 2018, ending a 4-year absence, which is great to see for the Red Blacks. They have a chance to take over second with the win at Toronto, but if they lose, it assures that they will have a road playoff revisit to BMO Field.
Litre under center.
3rd down and a yard from their own 42. Scott Milanovich says he wants to end this on his own terms.
I'd like to see him and Menard next to each other doing their celebration dances.
Hey, big team, big team.
Bo Levi Mitchell comes out to wrap this one up, but looking forward to seeing exactly which of these East Division teams. Obviously, Ottawa sliding as of late. Toronto big win on the road against Winnipeg.
Got Drew Brown back in the lineup. See if that sparks that offense. I think what they got to do is eliminate penalties to give themselves a chance. They got to get out of the way of themselves before they can beat somebody else. Oh, this is Greg Bell. I want to see this in a while.
Greg Bell down the sideline, trying to stay inbounds. Slides out inside the 20 as jacks up his numbers on the night. Crosses 100 yards.
I'm trying to figure out who's in hot pursuit and tracking him down. Couldn't outrun the angle. Williams is out front. That's Devine Scott who can run. Yeah, that's just speed there on speed. Good looking play all the way around. Your Calgary Stampeders nuts.
About 100 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, through the first 6 games for Greg Bell. He's shown plenty It makes you think that has to be a primary part of the plan going into next season. Looks like the Tiger Cats will indeed kneel this one out, and we turn our attention towards the doubleheader coming up tomorrow. Matty, you're back in studio?
Yeah, back in studio.
Breaking it down.
Both those, yeah. And, yeah, should be some good football. Like I said, Ottawa's got to clean some things up before they can beat an opponent and beat themselves first. Montreal's playing well. I think Toronto is playing clean football. Defensive line's flexing their muscles. Wynton McManus making a big difference being back in that lineup. It's going to be interesting to see VA back. Get after it, because I know he's chomping at the bit to make things happen. Get that team back on track.
Well, neither of these teams will be in the CFL playoffs, but certainly one leaves feeling better than the other after week number 20.
Yeah. I was impressed the way Calgary responded in the second half. And then I think Hamilton just went ahead and said, nah, we're going to put you out of your misery. Great night for Bo Levi Mitchell. Scott Milanovic teaching an old dog new tricks, and it's paying off. Marshall, I've enjoyed working with you this year.
It's been fantastic, Matty. Always enjoyed. As Bo Levi Mitchell walks towards the tunnel, and for the first time in his illustrious Canadian Football League career, number 19 has beaten the Calgary Stampeders. So many wins in red and white. Tonight, it was black and gold. It was a Steeltown beatdown in the first half. They made a game of it in Calgary, but just not enough to come all the way back. Tomorrow, CFL and CTV, the Red Blacks and the Argonauts. And then looking forward to seeing what the Alouettes and the Lions can do. Thanks so much for being with us from Hamilton. For Matt Dunnigan, Matthew Shinity, I'm Marshall Ferguson. Sports Center starts now.
Come on in. Welcome to Sports Center. Jermaine Franklin, Jennifer Hedger here with you, and we're going to start with the game that we just came out of. Stamps, Ticats. Now, let's be honest, Jen, both teams are eliminated from the playoffs, but plenty to play for in terms of pride, jobs next season. And Bo Levi Mitchell, he had 5,000 yards in his sights. It was far in his sights, but he had a shot at it tonight.
Jermaine Franklin, there's no such thing as a meaningless game. No such thing. The Calgary Stampeders looking to win a game on the road for the first time this season. And as you said, Bo Levi looking for 5,000 passing yards. That man, Matt Schultz, getting a second straight start, trying to end an 8-game winless streak for Calgary. Opening drive, oh dear. Schultz throws, and he's picked off by Jonathan Moxey. The Stamps' last win came way back on August the 4th, all the way back in week 9. Hamilton takes over. Bo Levi Mitchell leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns. On the ensuing drive, Mitchell finds Tim White, and he gets in for the score. That shot was from the CFL Enhanced data feed.
Ooh.
Yeah. Puts White over 1,000 yards for the third straight season. It's a 7-0 game. Then, on their next possession, Mitchell to White, and he's got his second touchdown. White's 8th receiving touchdown of the season, ties his career high. And then on the first play of the second quarter,
felt like it was the right thing to do to play Bo, and certainly looks that way early on. As Mitchell looks over the top, Giovanni Robinson! Touchdown for the big man from Jamaica!
6'8", Giovanni Robinson reaches nearly 27 kilometers an hour. We clock these things as Mitchell counts the touchdown. Stamp special advisor John Hupnagel having trouble watching this football game. It's 20-0. And on their next drive, Mitchell to Stephen Dunbar Jr. That's TD number 4. Mitchell threw for 281 yards in the half with the 4 scores and an interception. Hamilton leading 30-9. Fourth quarter, it's now 36-20 Hamilton. Mitchell finds Keandre Smith, and he goes for a gain of 27 yards. That puts Mitchell over 5,000 passing yards in a season for the third time in his career. He doesn't. 2 plays later, Mitchell threads the needle to Dunbar. He's going to get in for the score. Mitchell ties his career high with his 5th touchdown on the night. 42-20 Hamilton. The Ticats trounce the Calgary Stampeders. 42-20 is the final. Rough season for the Stamps. They fall to 0-8 on the road this season. If they lose on the road next week, It'll be the first time in franchise history that they failed to win an away game in a season. Ticats have won 4 of their last 5 home meetings against the Stampeders. With more on tonight's Friday night football game, go to Laura Dykin.
And joined alongside Milt Stiegel, Davis Sanchez, as well as Enoch Mwamba. So it was a milestone night for Bo Levi Mitchell, 3rd time in his career reaching 5,000 yards in a season. First time since 2018 when he went on to win the MOP that year. Look, we know that he's been dealing with injuries the last few seasons. A lot of question marks coming into this year. Were you expecting him to do anything close to this, Enoch?
Coming into this year, you know, people were thinking that he was slowing down already, and a lot of teams and coaches were thinking, hey, look, you know, coaches always think, you got to let go of a guy sooner rather than later. And coming into this season, yes, I wouldn't have been mad if anybody said that. But the way that he's played all year long proves that he's still got some left in the tank. And speaking of playing, just tonight specifically, he was fantastic. I mean, he went over 5,000 yards tonight, and he looked absolutely amazing. 4 TDs in the first half, Chaz. I mean, they couldn't stop him.
He was awesome. You know what? I'm sure that Ticat backers watching both tonight say, dang, I wish we were in the playoffs. I wish we had a shot because we could do something. And, you know, we know this, that every team in this league is a good quarterback play away from being a contender. And the Ticats, they're a contender. They at least have a quarterback, and I think you can be pretty certain with that. Nobody has been better. Since Labor Day, nobody has been better than the Ticats. The Bombers have the same record, but the Ticats, I mean, that's the type of football they're playing right now. Unfortunately, too little, too late.
Yeah, a little tough to swallow now for Hamilton fans, for sure. The Stamps definitely made it easy on Bo Levi Mitchell on this night. The Stamps winless streak now up to 9 straight games, Milt. And there have been some ugly games for the Stamps. Do you think Friday was rock bottom for this team, though?
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad, especially for a Dave Dickinson coach team. We know what type of success he's had in the past, but right now this team is at the bottom. I don't know how much lower they can get, and it just wasn't this season. Let's be honest, over the last 2 years, this team has not been competitive. Right now, they're 4-13. They have a great opportunity to go 4-14, don't win a game on the road, and last year they were 6-12. So this organization right now is at a crossroads. They understand that some decisions need to be made, and not just any decisions. They need some major decisions to be made. There's a lot of players on that team who should not be playing professional football anymore. Maybe there's some coaches on that coaching staff that need to be gone, but they need a major overhaul over that organization, because what's going on right now is not working.
August 4th, week 9. That was the last time the Stamps won a football game. And as you said, haven't won on the road yet. Now 0-for-8. The Stamps have never gone a season without winning a game on the road. They'll get one more chance next week, and it won't be easy in Saskatchewan to take on those Riders.
We have got a CFL doubleheader for you tomorrow. First up, Argos hosts the Red Blacks as a 4.5-point favorite. The Lions as a slight favorite over the Alouettes. Montreal the favorite to win the Grey Cup. Lions are the 4th choice at plus 650. Hamilton Tiger Cats with a win tonight over Calgary and another 5,000-yard passing season for Bo Levi Mitchell. Here he is, new on SC.
Okay, so now you have officially beaten every single team in the Canadian Football League. Does it matter that you've beaten Calgary?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of it, right? You leave there, you know, you have your feelings about it, and wanted to put that to bed, and we got to do that tonight.
Why does it matter that you guys put up 42 points for this offense in particular?
Momentum. You know, momentum going into the offseason. Obviously, we didn't finish the season the way we wanted to, but just showing that we can continue to, you know, do what we have to do in order to put up points. I mean, the defense played a hell of a game, giving us some short fields there, and we just took advantage of it.
How different a year makes. You and I had a very interesting conversation after the playoff game in Montreal. You come back this season, let's take the standings out of it. You dropped 5,000 yards. The way you've seen yourself grow into Scott Milanovich's offense, satisfaction, is that an appropriate word to use?
Yeah, I mean, satisfaction, growth. I mean, definitely never satisfied not being in the playoffs. I know you want to take the standings out of it, but it's just what I judge myself on, right? I think we all do as athletes. It's all about the wins, and didn't have enough of them this year, but we're going to finish with a bunch. So
thanks, Bob.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, Friday Night Football now. CFL action. Stamps and Ticats on the Ticats opening drive. Bo Levi Mitchell finds Tim White, and that's a touchdown. The shot was from the CFL Enhanced Data Feed. Puts White over 1,000 yards for the 3rd straight season. It is 7 Nothing then on their next possession. Mitchell to White. That's going to be a second TD. Stamps are the only team Mitchell has yet to beat in his career. And then on the first play of the second quarter.
Felt like it was the right thing to do to play Bo, and certainly looks that way early on. As Mitchell looks over the top, Giovanni Robinson! Touchdown for the big man from Jamaica!
Mitchell counting the touchdowns so far, and Stamp special advisor John Hufnagel having trouble watching this football game.
That's tough.
It's 20-0. On their next drive, Mitchell to Stephen Dunbar Jr. That's going to be touchdown number 4. He threw for 281 yards in the half with the 4 scores and an interception. Hamilton leading 30-9 to the fourth. This is now 36-20 Hamilton after eclipsing the 5,000-yard mark earlier in the drive. Bo Levi finds Dunbar again for the score. Mitchell ties his career high with his 5th TD. Also throws for 450 yards as he picks up his first win against his former team. 42-20 is the final. We've got a CFL doubleheader for you tomorrow. First up, Argos hosts the Red Blacks. Then it's the Lions, slight favorites over the Alouettes. Montreal the favorite to win the Grey Cup. Make sure you can catch all the action right here on the Sports Network.